Can y'all hear me now? What's going on with my screen, bro? This whole production is just trash. Everything about this is trash. I need to be better. But I'm not monetized right now, so I'm not even tripping. But the whole thing's trash. This is trash ass presentation. It's just garbage. Look, why I got a green screen? I'm going through this bullshit. You know what? This is what happened. Let me tell y'all what had happened. Can y'all hear me? Let me tell you what had happened. I don't know what's wrong with my mic, right? I don't know what's wrong with my mic. And I got the trash ass new camera. So between this trash ass new camera and the fact I got to hit this earpiece, this is going to be a real low budget show. But it's a no budget show because I'm not goddamn monetized. So help your boy out and goddamn it, man. Donate to the show. It's going to be a good one. So, but it's not going to be clippable because this visual this is trash. This is horrible. This is nasty work. There ain't gonna be no drops or nothing. No OBS. We straight on StreamYard and I ain't paid for it, so ain't no drops or nothing. This matter of fact, I'm about to open up the panel real quick, nigga. We gonna make it a panel show. Yo, I'm not monetized, no. I'm not monetized. I fucked up. It was my fault. I pushed the wrong button, took the monetization off on accident on the wrong account type shit. I had linked another YouTube account I had for a different email address, and then I linked the dirty folks, and then it blanked out. Now I got to wait 32 more days before I can remonetize. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I can't get cash apps. I don't know if I can get I don't know if I can get super chats, but I can get cash apps. Man, donate to the show, bro. Look, so here's what had happened, and I'm gonna drop the link in like a hot 2 minutes. Here's what had happened. What had happened was I get all this colored stuff, right? And I'm really kind of tired of colored stuff, right? Because I ain't even colored. I don't even like niggas, right? But, and you know what niggas I hate the most? Niggas who don't know they niggas. Niggas who be like, I got a white wife or whatever, Asian wife, or Filipino wife, whatever. So now I'm not black because I don't have black pussy, which is the whole problem for black people in the first place is they associate their masculinity to the bitch they fucking. So it's really the blackest shit ever, but they don't see it. But I ain't don't worry about that part, right? You know I got a personal beef with boomers. More than toddlers, I got a personal beef with boomers. And somebody sent me a clip from one of the greatest boomers, by the name of Dr. Claude-Anderson. And Claude-Anderson, um, in his boomerificness, had this to say about black wealth. Most of the stuff he talks about is about black wealth. And I'm gonna break it down why everything he's saying is folly and how he worships the strong black Nubian queen. But let's see what he got to say about why black people are quote unquote poor. Even though it's not true, but don't worry about that part. Let's go. Here's my problem with that. Here's my problem with. I don't even think they race baiters. The, Here's my problem with the dot. Nobody got more wealth for doing nothing than baby boomers. No sound on the video. Hold on, I'm bringing the video back. Then I'll bring the video back. I'll bring it back because I'm not on OBS. I'm not on OBS, so I gotta actually put the audio on the video in this particular situation. Let me know if y'all hear the audio now.
1618 up until 1866, blacks were slaves. They didn't belong to any party, and they got slavery out of it. From 1866 to 1936, about 96% of all the blacks in the United States belonged to the Republican Party. What they got was Jim Crowism out of it. From 1936 up to 1996, almost 97% of all the blacks in the United States belong to the Democratic Party. What they've gotten is benign neglect. So partisanship is not the issue. The issue is that black folk have never had an effective strategy for dealing with white racism in this country. That's the issue. You can win as a minority population if you learn to find out how it's been done in the past. Jews are a minority religious group, but they do win. The National Rifle Association is a minority social civic group, but they do win. The wealthy elite in this country is a minority group, but they do win. When will we sit down and strategize how do we win as a minority? 1680.
I'm gonna start this early. I'm been early today, man. This what happens when you don't be on something for a minute. Okay, let me say this: Nigerians are a minority, um, migrant immigrant group, and they do win. The There's a great clip I just saw the other day about a Nigerian NFL player who was he almost in the making. His Nigerian parents like, oh, you're going to be poor your whole life. Like they have a culture of you better go out here and get it. And I don't even like Nigerians. As a personal reference, when I think about horrible Africans, I think about Nigerians. I don't even think about Senegalese or Egyptians or South Africans. And I think South Africans. I think Dutchmen. Like when I think about nigger shit in Africa, I think Nigerians. Even though the Congo is way worse than Nigeria. In Libya, since Libya got taken over, brought slavery back. I don't even think about that when I think about the most horrible African. When I think African Nigerians, but Nigerians have a code of ethics. They have a way that they move in such a way. Minority groups just means a subgroup, a subculture. You're never going to win as black people because you include women as part of your black. That's my problem with the boomers. They talk about my dad does that. My dad could tell you everything about slavery, and I'm like, yo, Papa, that's not really what happened. And they'd be like, you're disrespecting. Like, no, bro, y'all slave like because y'all love these hoes. Like most of being slave ish is listening to girls with clothes on. Matriarchy is slavery, right? I'm gonna show y'all some stuff. Strictly from like the 1860s to the 1920s. Um, about racism. Because Jim Crow, I keep telling y'all, Jim Crow was way worse than slavery. Y'all keep like, nah, we was in slavery. No, Jim Crow was worse than slavery. It was worse. As a freed man, how many people do you know by the name of Freedman? I know a million Freedmans. I grew up with a whole family free. We sit on the porch and listen to X Clan together. He's my brother today. My boy Ty Freeman. Like Freeman is a common name delineating that I'm free, motherfucker. Like it's in the name. Like it's cooked in the cake, right? You can own property. You can have family. It was still racist, but everybody still racist. Like blacks got it the worst, but right behind it was the Irish. Ain't nobody like the Irish. Ain't nobody like the Italians. They call it the Irish mickers. I be calling snowman maker. They call it the Irish mickers. They call it the Italian sand niggas. No, they call it the Arab sand niggas. They call it the Italians olive niggas. Like everybody was a nigga. The Indians were niggas. Everybody was niggers, bro. Everybody who wasn't German, French, or English was nigger just by default, my nigga. So when you start talking about groups coming together to do their thing, every group came together to do their thing. I wish Gorilla People said Gorilla Pete told me something maybe 2 years ago in a private conversation. In a private conversation, he told me something about 2 years ago that I'm about to show the Sarah clip real quick. We're gonna break it down real quick, but I got a video after this. I'm gonna show y'all. Gorilla P said, "Man, in the 1960s, after the civil rights, everybody had a chance to sit at the table and say what they wanted their group to be. The Jews said, yo, we want to run your mind. So we want Hollywood in the school system. It was like cool. You got Hollywood schools. The Italians said, "Look, we're gonna run commerce. We want the restaurants, the whatever. Cool, you can have that." The Asians, by default, ended up being merchants by default, and the Arabs took that slot. Now that's where you got the bodegas everywhere. If you're from New York, in Chicago, we got to call it the corner store. In New York, call it bodega. The Arabs, but that's by default. Something that they got from the Asians when the Asians got their bread moved on because of racism. Like white people didn't want to shop at black convenience stores, so they had to set it up so Asians, especially across the Mississippi River, were the merchants where black people and white people went to the same store, but they shopped in different lines, right? This is the black line over here. We do it now, the express line and the regular line, but back then it was a white line and a black line, and they felt comfortable shopping with non-blacks, right? So by default, Asians got on, and then Arabs got on for the same reason. Like they bought out the Asian part, but by then white people weren't around no more. So all of these groups by economic and social situations ended up linking up. It wasn't a because we such and such. The because we such and such is why everybody was cubbyhole. Every major city has a little Italy. Every major city has a Chinatown. Every major city has a little Mexico. A lot of major cities have Germantown. You know why you don't have Blacktown? Because y'all want to be Jews and y'all call it a ghetto. Ghetto was a Jewish word. Or you call it the hood because y'all kicked out the neighbors. Because neighbors commune in unity, which is how you get a community. Then you kick out the neighbors, don't know your neighbors, you knock that off, and now you got the hood. To commune in unity, that's a man thing. Kick out the man, you lose community. You get hood, right? Because you don't know your neighbors. All this shit is implanted, right? All this is baked into the cake. There's no little Africa. Anyway, you wouldn't want a little Africa because I've tasted their food. It's not that good, and you know a culture essentially by they culinary thing. Like you tell me the food, I'll tell you who made it. You know what I mean? No matter how much I talk about tacos, I know they're Mexican. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much I talk about Italian beef, it's in the name. No matter how much I talk about jerk chicken, I don't know why they call it jerk chicken. That's a wild name. That's kind of that's a pause. But it's Caribbean, right? Show y'all something. Show y'all something, man.
My name's Sarah Rector. The state gave me 160 acres on account of my ancestors, and there's all on.
Well, how do you know that?
God gave me the ears to hear it. Do you hear it?
Wait. She got 168 acres from her ancestors. It's always some mythical, magical shit in Hollywood. I'm not even. You know what? I did a little research with the movie. I'm gonna break it down. I was never gonna watch this movie. I might watch it now just for the historical inconsistencies. But this little girl Sarah said the ancestors gave her 167 acres of land, and she know it's worth something because she put her ear to the ground and she can hear the spirits. This is supposed to be a faith-based movie. It's called Sarah's Oil, but the original manuscript was called Sarah's Faith. This is supposed to be black Christian, black girl magic girl boss energy, and they put a budget to this. It's bananas. Let's go.
Blue? There's oceans down there.
Nobody but you, Lord.
I got oil on my land, and I'm looking for a partner to help me drill it out.
Bertrand Byron Smith, at your service. I look for oil and I drill for it.
I was thinking 50-50.
We should have our lawyers meet. That's my.
Hold on, I'm bringing that back a little bit. Even if I ignore the fact that she went straight to the white man, right? Because the white man got equipment. Cool. I'm not even knocking that. That she couldn't find a black guy with a drill. I'm not knocking that part. She came to the people. This is black girl magic. She came to the people with a 50-50 deal on her shit. The first, the spirits told her, like, I got all this shit right here. Then, according to this movie, she just went up to some white prospect that was like, "Yo, if you help me out, man, I'll give you 50% of everything that I have 100% ownership of." What? Because this is how girls count, right? This is how girls.
Our lawyers meet. That's my lawyer. The Texas handshake. There ain't nothing more binding.
We're in Oklahoma.
It goes double for Okies. Here we go.
Nobody but you, Lord. Nobody but.
What's the damage? Well, this might be the end of the road.
You give them so easy.
What's your guess? Is he gonna do the right thing?
We shook hands.
You may have to speak to him.
I don't know what to say.
God'll give you the words. We need money out of you. But how are we gonna get it?
Hi, I'm Sarah, Bert's business partner. Has Bert properly presented our proposition, ma'am?
You said y'all need to put in there $1,000.
We need 2,000, and we need it today. It's a partnership.
Got some real nice mud here. Hoping you might test it first.
Wait. I've never. I only watched the first 15 seconds of this, bro. Hold on, bro. Let me. First of all, Snow, you my nigga, bro. You know it's all love, my G. It's my nigga. Second of all, though, you walked up to one man, offered him 50%. Then you walked up to a white woman, offered her a partnership, which is normally 50%, or some, but you only own 50% of it. Girls can't count. In addition to this, at what point in life do you entrust, I don't care what era, do you entrust an 11-year-old girl? An 11-year-old girl, fresh, slavery just ended, Jim Crow hit, fresh, a 11-year-old girl to negotiate with adult white people. And it ain't a black person. The black people that they showed and told her, God got you. God got you. Every black adult, God got you. I need your 11-year-old girl, to go out here and negotiate business with, in a room full of votes. Bro, this is the most Hollywood shit ever, bro.
Never seen anything like it. That field you're sitting on could be the richest in all Oklahoma.
I'll give you $20 an acre.
I ain't selling.
You want a war?
You told me things about my soul. Ain't nobody ever done that for me. Ain't nobody ever cared.
We're dealing with some mighty devious folks over there.
Then we need to fight for what's ours.
Is that why I see dynamite?
That's my oil!
No, it ain't!
I would not do that if I was you. You took the liberty of wiring up your wells just in case you wanted to do something foolish.
It's funny. When the land had only weeds and lizards, it was all mine. But when people found out there's oil lines, they started thinking it's theirs. All I'm asking is to keep what's mine.
Her name is Sarah Rector, and you're going to be hearing a lot about her.
You know, I've grown kind of fond of the kid. That's called a knight.
It can hop over your pieces.
That's right. Look at
Man, shout out to good white people. Apparently, that's what this movie is about. About great white people who see a small black girl and just bust pistols for all type of good shit. 11-year-old girl with 178 acres of land. Inherited though. She ain't buy the land. Of course she didn't. She 11 years old. How did she get the land? My first question was, and this is kind of what related to something that me and XL Pro was talking about the other day, about what happens to number one, how did black people lose the land that they got after slavery? How did they acquire the land? Right? How did they lose the land? What happened to the bread? Right? And then you get to the Claude-Anderson because everybody united. Why am I green? This new camera got me incredible hocus, bro. I don't like it. Anyway, I want to say something real quick. I ain't even put it on. I got it. My first question was, where was Sarah's parents when um, all this fantabulous stuff was going on? Where was Sarah's parents in all of this? Like, they got her out here like she was just, you know what I'm saying, like a super gangster, like she doing it all, strong, independent, don't need no man, don't need. I'm like, where's her? Like, was she an orphan? Like, how did she get the land and blah blah blah? I'm, shout out to Wikipedia on this one. Normally, I'm not a big fan of Wikipedia, but they came through in the clutch on this one, man. Let's review this real quick. How did Sarah even get the land, bro? Sa- She got married a couple of times. Shout out to Sarah Rector. Sarah Rector, under the Treaty of 1866, her birthright as a black grandchild of Creek Indians. I want y'all to know this too, bro. Like y'all really don't peep this. I peep this a lot in history. When I had an argument like, black people from Africa, it don't even matter, bro. White people from Germany, they're not American. They from Britain. They from the Dutch had this on lock. New York, New Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? The Netherlands had it on lock. It was New Amsterdam before it was New York. Everybody came to America. However, they came to America for the promise of prosperity and coochie. Shout out to coochie. Coochie is underrated. There's a lot of people that came over here because they were promised coochie. There's a lot of women that came over here after, well, they were in diamonds and everything else, gold, silver, everything, beaver pelts. They were promised a lot of shit, and then they was like, "Yo, we gonna give you the land," and girls chase niggas that got cribs. It's nothing. And then they went back and got the women like, "Yo, dysentery and what all the diseases of America that we don't have in Europe. Come over there and get married, and then dude gonna die. He gonna die before you, and then you get all this stuff." So all that women can't own property. It's bullshit. They incentivize women to come to America to marry men and high risk career choices so they can hope this nigga die and get his shit. That's the most female thing ever. There ain't no new shit. Women always want you to die so they can keep their shit. That's what women do. So anyway, back to this though. Interchangeably, all the way into the 1950s, all the way to the civil rights movement, interchangeably, they use black and Native American in all historical things. When motherfuckers start talking about the FBA shit, they use it interchange all the time, bro, all the time. Black and Native American is interchangeable all the time. From even from the 1750s when your boy what's his name, Benjamin Franklin, was talking about there's too many Tonys and Swarthies in America. Tony just mean brown skin, and Swarthy mean dark skin. That's all that shit mean, and that's all he was talking about. Like, we need a place for white people because there's too many Tonys and Swarthies in Germany and in America. Blah, blah. That's all it is, man. Everybody knew. Everybody was called nigga. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. All right. So the black grandchild of Creek Indians, go figure that. So you think Creeks are black if the grandchild black, but don't worry about that part because y'all, color's gonna color. Born before the American Civil War, she received an allotment. I need y'all to get this. The allotment she received as a grandchild. Think about what your grandparents did, right? Your grandparents have a couple of kids, a couple of grandkids. They make a will, and they say, "Yo, I'm gonna leave this to this grandkid, this to that grandkid." If you got a bunch of kids, for those who got a bunch of kids, you try to equal it out. You know what I'm saying, based on your kids, you know, behavior or what you think they can accomplish. People do it all the time. My grandparents had 4 kids. My uncle Jerome got the house. Everybody else like, man, we got a couple of dollars. He get the childhood house. Like, you got to chop it up some way. So she didn't earn anything. Well, she a girl. She didn't earn anything. She was granted. She was given. But all the kids were given, which makes you think, where's the rest of the land and the rest of the money? But they don't care about that because the story is about black girl magic. Just keep up with it. Anyway, so Sarah was born in 1902 in an all-black town of Taft, located in Indian Territory out in Oklahoma, run by Creek Indians. And Their whole descendants was listed as the Freemans. Let me make this bigger. I don't think y'all understand, man. Like, it's just regular John Rector, a Creek Freedman. You don't have to be called a Freeman if no. Don't worry about that because niggas colored. I'm gonna slide past it. This is what I want to. This is what I want to shout out real quick. The Rector family, they were lower middle class. Like she didn't grow up in poverty. I mean, they wasn't rich, but they wasn't broke. Regular America, right? But that's not where I wanted to go with. Here it is, right here. Dad couldn't cover the property taxes. Property taxes, once again, real quick. Property taxes being one of those Jim Crow things, right? Like it used to be, you buy the land, it's yours. Makes sense, right? For those who don't own land right now, most don't. You own a car. When you bought that car, you said, "This is my car. I got the title to my car." Is it really your car? Think about it. You don't get that city sticker, they take your car. You don't get that license plate sticker from the state, they take your car. So is it your car or is it the state's car? Because anything, a license plate sticker? Now you impounding my shit? You holding my car hostage for your sticker? But then we go to war over a stamp tax? Isn't that what the whole Tea Party was about? The original one, where the black guy who they called Native American, depending on what you look, Christmas addicts, he was Indian in one thing and black in another. I could show you that shit too. Same pictures, same bio. One to say he Native American, the other say he African. They're gonna change that shit all the time, man. But ain't that what it was about? The stamp tax? So now your car got a stamp tax. They could take your shit. So is it your car? Anyway, so property tax, all that Jim Crow type shit, right? How can we take your shit? So they couldn't pay their property tax. That's the moral of the story. That Sarah couldn't pay her property tax. Her family, her dad, her father. She had a father and a mother and aunts and everything else. That makes it seem like this 11-year-old girl or some goddamn superhero came through hollering at white people, shaking hands and making deals with no paperwork, and everybody was so honest and full of integrity that even though they got this, they gonna pull pistols for a handshake and got 3 partnerships. I don't even know how the partnership work. I watched. Haven't y'all watched Shark Tank? How the fuck you gonna have partnerships on a partnership? That's not even how it works. But don't worry about that part. It ain't supposed to make sense because math don't matter when you add girls, man. If you make a show about women, especially black women, but any liberal woman, you make a show about math, ain't supposed to math. Don't worry about that shit. Anyway, her dad couldn't afford the how much was it? Let's look. The $30 property tax, right? Which is equivalent to $1,000 a year in 2024. He couldn't afford the stack for the property tax, right? So he petitioned the Muskogee County Court to sell the land. His petition was denied because of certain restrictions placed on the land, so he was required to continue paying taxes. That comes back down to the $5 Indian thing. If you have Native American land, a lot of people don't know this, but if you got Native land, it's separate from American land. It was part of the Indian, what was it called? The Indian property. Anyway, it was a thing. You know what I'm saying? Which is why all them Jews try to be $5 Indians so they can get that land. But if you already had the land, you can't sell it because it's designated to Native Americans and they were Native American. You can only exchange to other Native Americans. And in addition to that, if you're quantified as a Native American, which we're talking 1902, a lot of people couldn't really read like that, contract law, but you can't sell it because Native American land can't accrue taxes, which is another thing. Wait a minute, real quick. There's an actual law that if you're a Native American, you can't owe debt to the government. This is an actual law. It's the law that ensures that if you're a Native American, you can go to any state school for free. So if you're a Native American in Oklahoma, you can go to Oklahoma State for free. Nebraska, you can go to Nebraska State for free. You don't have any debt. You can run up a credit card bill and not have to pay, and it won't necessarily um, impact you because there's no debts to America, to any corporate. If you're a Native American, the flip side to that is that you only have a very limited budget. Like the Native American budget is almost like being on Section 8. Like you almost have to be impoverished to a certain extent in order to facilitate certain things. And then if you get bread that you can only get as a Native American, like gambling, they're making gambling illegal now. But the reason you have anybody who's been to the Northwest states, like the Dakotas, Montana, Minnesota, whatever, they have slot machines everywhere. They had this before it was legal. Anywhere else, they had slot machines everywhere. The reason Atlantic City existed, all that, is because it was on Native American land. So there were certain things you could do that you couldn't do on American soil, quote unquote. There's a lot of benefits, a lot of restrictions. But now that I'm thinking about it, how did he have to pay taxes on something as a Native American when Native Americans don't have to pay taxes? He petitioned the wrong thing in court. And ignorance ain't bliss, man. Ignorance costs, bro. Anyway, but because Sarah's dad couldn't afford the $30 a year to help cover the expense, in February 1911, Joe Rector, her daddy named Joe, leased Sarah's parcel to the land to Standard Oil, right? In 1913, independent driller B.B. Jones sank what became a gusher well with a yield of 2,500 barrels, which is worth about $300 a day. So she was getting $300 a day, equivalent to $10,000 in 2024, right? Here's the kicker. Here's where racism come in, right here. Here's the racism part right here. Oklahoma law at the time required the assignment of a quote-unquote well-respected white to act as guardians for full-blooded Indians, black adults, and children who were citizens of Indian territory with significant property and money. So if you were black or native, no matter what you want to call yourself, if you're black or you're native, if you got a couple of dollars, a white person got to be your daddy. That was the issue. They make it seem like this little 11-year-old black girl, her daddy a coward, and her uncles can't fight for her. All the white people. It was the way to reallocate wealth from the Tawnies to other people. I ain't calling motherfuckers black because niggas get confused. From the Tawnies to the Pinkies. That's all it was about. If you got a couple of dollars, you need to go holler at somebody else and they'll be your overseer. And because she was a minor, the white person that they put over her, because it's a minor, controls her estate. Now I can go back and read some more stuff, but basically back then, Chicago Defender, when it was still owned by black people, Chicago Defender petition. They made a story, and then black lawyers went down a petition to get Sarah Rector away from her white custodians. Like, yo, why are y'all bullying this black girl? And had her out here bad. Had her out here like living like real poor niggerish. And they taking the bread like, but we your custodian. And I know how that go. Anybody who's ever had a parent that be like, man, you should pay me for your life because you live in my crib and ate some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for a couple of years. Now you need to get an after school job and help pay the rent. Same way. Except it wasn't her family. Sarah don't have this money no more, by the way. Sarah's estate is poor. She has a very poor estate now. It's not her fault. It's not her fault. She lived in 1967. She lived to see a lot of things. She had a couple of dollars. She was caked up, draped up, like most moguls of that time. She lost her money during the Great Depression. I can't knock her for that. I can't even categorize that under girls can't count. It was the Great Depression. Depression. People was hopping off of buildings because they couldn't feed their family in the Great Depression. So, and she still kept a couple of dollars to live comfortably to to 1967. You know what I'm saying? So she wasn't in the alley begging. She had a couple of dollars, but she wasn't rich as she was. But how many? The amount of black women who got money from 1870 to 1920 is crazy work. Whether you want to call them black or Native American, doesn't matter which one you call them. The amount of 20 women who got bread from 1870 to 1920 is a show that I done 2 years ago already. I don't know the name of it, but look for it. But it's crazy work because those black women were the brand ambassadors. They were the black face for other people's work, right? The Madam C.J. Walker's. She ran a beauty salon. I'm not saying that's not a good thing. Like, you grind and you got a beauty salon, and then this Jew boy come to you like, yo, I got a product I want to put in your store. Not only that, I'm gonna put your name on it, give you a licensing deal. I'm gonna do the manufacturing and the distribution. I'm gonna give you a licensing deal. I'm gonna let you call yourself a girl boss, but you're gonna be caked up, draped up. And she was. She was caked up, draped up, and she was. Another 20 years until she died, and then her daughter spent it all in 7 years. It is what it is. But because women, when women have women's wealth doesn't transfer. Men's wealth transfers. Women's wealth doesn't transfer because women live for stuff. They convince colors like money is power. Money ain't power. Money is a tool to exchange for goods and services. Money ain't power. But that's what but money is comfort, and women are creatures of comfort. That's why they need adult supervision, so they don't eat all the candy and they eat their vegetables. This is about support the show, man. Support the stream, bro. Support the show, support the stream. Your boy ain't monetized, man. The link in the chat, man. Y'all want to pull up. This is about how Southern black farmers are forced from their land and heritage. There was something very incredible about this. Let me fast forward a little bit because a lot of this ain't interesting.
Magazine. It's written by Van Newkirk, who's a staff writer at the magazine. Van, thanks for joining us tonight. What is important about this story? Why did you want to tell this story, and what is important you think that people should know from it?
Well, right now the country is in the middle of a lot of debates over the racial wealth gap, over the status and economic prosperity or lack thereof of African Americans here, and also about reparations, perhaps. And I wanted to, with this piece, recenter the conversation on the South, on black folks in the South who often get left out of this conversation, on one of the places where the deficit has been the most extreme, and that's in farming and in the ownership of land.
You call this, or the headline is The Great Land Robbery. What happened? Give us an idea of what happened.
So what happened was during pretty much after the middle of the 20th century, federally funded farm programs. They were put out there to give small and middle-sized farmers loans, to support farms, to keep them going through bad economic times. They systematically disenfranchised and also discriminated against black farmers. So they didn't get the loan amounts, they were denied loans that they were entitled to, and often these local USDA programs were used as bully pulpits or forces to actually push black farmers off their land.
And some of this was actually accelerated.
Hold on, let me. I'm just pausing for effect because I don't want to get flagged. That's all. 3, 2, 1.
Or exacerbated as a result of the civil rights movement, that this was a reaction to the civil rights movement.
Right, so most of the USDA funding was actually leveraged through locally elected boards. And guess who could not vote in the South? So what would happen is these boards were dominated by the segregationists. And
okay, real quick. I think the point I wanted to make was already there. I want, when you think about people losing their land, you think about post-slavery, like how they get the land and lose it, right? I keep telling y'all slavery was the best time in American history for black women, but it was also, and I keep telling y'all slavery wasn't as bad as Jim Crow. There's a reason a lot of people didn't want to leave the plantation because it really wasn't that bad. And considering, like, bad considering. everything that's going on. And why am I green? This is really annoying. Anyway, and most of this happened because of the baby boomers. Most of the land loss happened. I mean, just specifically black people, baby boomers. Like everybody lost land. Like national catastrophes happened. The Great War, the Great Depression. You know what I'm saying? Things happen. The reason I paused and the reason I was like, yo, we about to get into a tide of, blame the white man is like, yo, who couldn't vote in the South? Black women couldn't vote in the South. Black men could vote since 1865. Black women couldn't vote in the South. And arguably, white women's vote wasn't taken into account in the South. Because women vote how their husbands vote. And most women were married then. They make this black victimhood based on what women shouldn't be able to vote. They shouldn't vote now. Repeal the 19th. People forget how many black governors, congressmen, senators that there were right in the beginning of the early 20th century, the early 1900s. Look it up. They call it the carpetbagger era, but so I could say they kind of sold out, but they were there. So you telling me there were enough? Either you're telling me there were enough black people in Mississippi and Arkansas to vote in black governors and black senators in 1906 type shit, 1908 type shit. But all of a sudden there wasn't enough people to vote in the 1950s. Now either he's lying, there's truth to it though. There's truth to it. But either he's lying or Jim Crow is worse than slavery. I'm gonna keep making that argument that Jim Crow is worse than slavery. Because every group has been a slave at some point in time. But they haven't been generationally oppressed like Jim Crow did, because Jim Crow fucked with your mind. I want to say y'all something. This is actually a flick called When the Slaves Were Freed. The thing that I found interesting about this is how many people wanted to leave versus didn't want to leave. Watch this though.
You would think that once freed, the slaves would get off the plantations as fast as humanly possible. But in his autobiography, Booker T. Washington mentioned that many ex-slaves, especially older ones, decided to stay. Although free, these ex-slaves typically made deals with their former masters to work for pay. According to Washington, one by one, the older slaves began to wander from the slave quarters back to the big house to have a whispered conversation with their former owners as to the future. Thomas Rutling was only 9 when he and his fellow slaves learned of their emancipation. He thought freedom would mean his family would now live a life like their former master, but instead, the family chose to stay on the plantation another 2 years. Rutledge, along with his brother and sister, finally left the plantation in 1865.
Oh man, it's a phenomenal thing. I'll put the link in the description, and I'm not gonna play. It's like 18 minutes. It's real good. It's really though. What they're saying is, man, look, once you leave here, once you leave this plantation, we'll pay you to stay. They paid them whatever the standard wage was at that time. First, they got slave wages. Like slaves always got paid. First, they got slave wages, and they got tips for being minstrels, whatever, playing the violin, whatever. Then they got comparable wage, which would be called minimum wage now, or living wage now, or whatever you want to call it. But they were in a more dire circumstance, really, than they were, before that happened. Because now you got to pay rent and shit. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Snow?
I hate you.
My maker. Why you hate me?
Because you keep calling me your maker.
But you're my maker.
And you're echoing.
Alright, this should be better. But you're my maker.
Yo, that's better.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, man. This is I thought about doing, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna do it. And then I listened to um the I'm a black man, but I hate black men panel that you was on earlier. And I was like, this is a good time for it.
I'm a black man, but hate black man panel.
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, that's what it always is. If you're black and you can read, then you can't know anything but that. You never know nobody whoever, did anything thuggery that knew how to read. They don't know how to count. It's funny. Like, you're a nerd if you play video games, then you look at every video ever, and there's some old lady trying to get a young boy with a PS5. Like, really? I don't think games dictate nerddom. I think men just like games.
Right.
I think women hate to see men happy. I've been in relationships twice where girls like, why you got a video game? You should give it to my son or something. You grown. You 20-some years old. You still playing video games. So I could be out here fucking your best friend.
Why are you trying to get me to give shit I worked hard for myself to your kid? Why don't you get a job and do it yourself?
I mean, why you don't want to see me happy? Why don't you want to see me play Need for Speed? I done bought the whole joystick with the pedal. Why don't you want to see me speed in the living room? Why do you want to see me speeding down Lakeshore Drive? Like, let me be happy, like girls say. But every guy likes games. You can't tell me on one hand that, hood dudes are like you live in a college place, bro. Like Ohio and Indiana are college states, right?
Yeah, where I live at in Fort Wayne, there's a lot of colleges here.
And there's a lot of alum, and there's a lot of educated people that come back to their alum to watch football games, especially. Nobody says, yo, you know what I mean? Like, if you from the hood and you got a scholarship to school, you must be like, bro. None of this shit makes sense. None make. And I just listen to it, and everybody talk about, how they grew up in poverty and got out of poverty, and now you shouldn't want to go back to poverty. I'm not negating that, but only I could change, and everybody else can't change. That's what I hear from women. That's what my cousin did. I had a cousin that fucked every thug nigga she could find, and then married a white guy. I was like, oh, I hate thug niggas. Shorty, I know you. I've been watching your dating pattern since you was 16.
They all like them till they're confronted with it and have to take accountability for their bad decisions. I mean, that's what it boils down to. I mean, let's keep it real. It's same thing with the whole issue with, with that whole panel that we were on,
I want to do drugs too. Like,
I don't do drugs.
I want to do medicine too.
I only smoke weed. That ain't a drug.
Weed not a drug.
Nope. I teach my kids that too.
Weed is a gateway, bro.
Dude, caffeine is a gateway.
I got some coffee too. I got coffee. Yeah, I'm about to get
I mean, if you want to keep it a buck, the first gateway drug we all get hooked on is sugar.
I got sugar in my coffee, bro. Like, I'm doing great right now, bro. I got all the I'm multitasking addictions around here, B. I'm a wonderful American, bro. I'm a wonderful American. Anywho, bro. Anywho. So you don't want to be my maker. You know what I hate? I ain't got to call you maker. But you know what I hate? I hate black people that call everybody their whatever their group is nigger. Like, that's my white nigga, that's my Jew nigga. I hate that shit. There's a racial epitaph for them too, sir. Like, I try to be racially sensitive and give people the epitaph that it belongs to. They ain't my Mexican nigga, that's my spick. You know what I mean? Why you can't be my spick, my wetback? Oh, my Mexican nigga, that's crazy.
I don't know, dude. I don't have an answer for that.
I know, man. Because that's what happens when you hate yourself. That oh Lord, even terms of endearment has to be. It's weird. It's weird. I just try to be racially sensitive to people's epitaph. Anywho, man.
Man, my mic keeps fucking humming.
Pause. Hey, now you gonna beat your beat. You gonna beat it.
Might as well. Why not?
Versus 100.
It's only a $250 Shure mic.
Versus 100, then you beat it. Hey, that's life, B. I ain't mad at you. That's the routine. You know what, bro? I thought I was gonna be mad today, right? I thought I was gonna be upset about the movie. I might watch that little Sarah Rector movie. I thought I was gonna be upset because it was a black empowerment movie, and they always include men. But after I read the real story, bro, I ain't even mad. It's an American story. It's not an American movie. It's a MK, what you call it? Not MK17. What you call that shit, bro? MK Ultra. It's an MK Ultra movie.
Yeah.
Black Girl Magic movie, but the real story is an American tale, bro. I wasn't even mad.
I missed what movie you're talking about, dude. I was busy dealing with my kids.
They got a movie called Sarah's Oil. It's about an 11-year-old Tawny girl. Because they switch between her being black and her being Native American, depending on how they feel about it, right?
Right.
Because she's a Creek Indian, but she also black. But it is what it is, right? So she got a parcel of land, 160 plus acres of land in Oklahoma, this barren rock-filled land that she got from her grandparents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And somehow in the story, God told her that oil was on that land. So she went out and negotiated all type of deals with a bunch of grown-ass white men and old-ass white women by herself. No parental guidance, no representation, nothing. Just this black girl magic. And this 11-year-old girl somehow negotiated with handshakes, no paperwork, negotiated deals, and convinced white people to shoot at other white people to keep her land, all type of shit. It was like it's like this 11-year-old white girl was like, not like Luciano, what's that? Anyway, like she was a mafia member type shit, but sweet little living. And I couldn't understand. I couldn't take it. I'm like, I'm not watching this bullshit with no dad, and she the only black person in the movie amongst a bunch of white people that.
Hell, that'd give you PTSD.
And then I read the real story, and it was like, yo, her dad handled that shit. Her dad negotiated with Standard Oil, and they still did. The business still happened from a place of bad faith. I mean, don't get it twisted. Like, you're poor, and then here comes this conglomerate.
Here comes somebody with money to take advantage of you.
Right.
Think that they're giving you, an upgrade. Really, they're taking you up for all it's worth, and you don't even know it.
Right. And that's still. I mean, she still got like everybody got paid, not as much as Standard Oil got paid, of course.
That's what happened to my stepdad's parents, my step grandparents. Their family owned land down in I believe Tennessee, and it was land where they had a natural gas pocket under their land, and they actually have the deed for it. But one of the major natural gas companies came in and bought the mineral rights for so many, for 100 years or whatever. And this was back in the early late 1800s, early 1900s when they bought it. So they bought it at that price. Right. I think it was I forget how she put it, but basically they were getting pennies on the dollar for what it was worth today.
And $30. That's what she got. She got $30. Which is like a G today, but you got $30 at that rate, and now you paying prorated $30, even with inflation, it's $1,000. But they probably
right.
And that happened to her too. But that's the American story.
Right. It doesn't just happen. Like I said, doesn't just happen to black folks. That shit happened to white folks too.
That shit happens to poor people. You're thirsty. I know people who sign record deals for $30,000, and I'm like, yo, what's $30,000, B? You can't do your album for $30,000. Why'd you take the? I ain't had no money, bro. I bought me a car. The car was $18,000, B. Now you got $12,000 to do your album. You're never gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? But when you have nothing, people can lowball.
Right. That's true.
That's just part of life. That's part of life, man. So she had an American story, and I respect the American story, but they try to make it a story of triumph because she's a little black girl, even though as a little black girl she ain't do shit.
Well, they had to bring the racial element into it, obviously.
I think it's a gender argument more than a racial argument because
It could be, but I still say that with today's movies and media and shit, it's I think they try to put race and race make the race division way too much in there. Try to sow those seeds way too much.
how long we gonna live in 1960? That's my thing.
Dude, that's like pretty much the question I asked today. It's wild to me. I see panels and stuff like you and I. We can get on a panel. We can sit and talk about things. We can bring race in and not get offended, right?
No doubt.
But as soon as you bring a bitch up on the panel, specifically one of these melanated queens.
No, because I saw him do it to that white girl. That white girl who said the N-word. It don't matter what race the girl is. Just a toddler.
No, what I'm saying is like they'll always come up and try and get emotional about race. Say that it's offensive to talk about it. Well, if you don't talk about it, how are you supposed to fix it?
No, because here's why I say it's a woman thing. Not toddler's gonna toddle. You sent me to what was the name of that page you sent me to? They had like these big ass panels like 1 in the morning, full of fucking liberal white people. They kicked you out too.
Oh, that was probably who knows? I've been to so many different ones.
And everybody was talking about the plight of black. It wasn't a black person on that panel. All these white liberals talking about the plight of black people, and white women especially were really empathetic to the plight of people they don't know. And I was looking like everybody switch up when girls come up. Like if you playing basketball in the park, it's cool to elbow somebody. You're gonna be mad, like, man, watch your bowls. A girl come, now it's a fight. Oh man, trying to put me.
You know who doesn't switch up when girls come up? Me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck either, bro.
You know, I think that just goes to show that it's like that stream Hood did the other day, that the hymn stream. Did you watch that?
I didn't see that one.
Where all these black guys or all these men in general, but he focuses more so on the black folks.
I know who Hemp is. I'm familiar with the show, but I didn't watch it.
Well, anyhow, basically what he was saying is, all these guys out here trying to claim that they're him. Well, first off, if you got to say you're him, you're not him. For one. And two, anybody that's him ain't simping for a bunch of fucking bitches they don't know online on a panel.
I grant you both of them. Like I call it the only good man syndrome. Like everybody want to be the only good man. Like, oh, don't worry about them. Like they really dirty Macs, but they think they good people, but they really dirty Macs. And that's unfortunate. But I've seen him show, and I'm familiar with the only good man syndrome, the Bobby Womack syndrome. Like,
right.
It's. But being him, okay, let's go there, right? Let's go there. I thought about this morning. I thought about you. I thought about there's a guy in Chicago that's on the radio called DJ All Style. I thought about All Style. I thought about a couple. Like I remember All Style. I was chilling with him in the south suburbs, and for whatever reason, I wasn't driving. I went out there with somebody, but I was ready to leave, and I stopped. All Style a DJ, but he also owns a barber shop. Because for some reason, all DJs are also barbers. Like I don't know why, but that's Chicago thing. If you cut hair, you also cut records. It's weird, but they all good with it. They all good at both though. And I was like, I ain't finna fuck. I was with Michelle. I was with Michelle. She got on my nerves, and I went down to All Style shop, and he was there. And we was talking about wild ass shit that you don't think that men talk about, but people swear to God you can't be a man and be black. So I remember specifically me and him was talking about colonics. I have no idea why. He took me to he had a studio on the second floor of his barber shop. He played a couple of tracks he was gonna play for the Munch mix, and that's when I found out it wasn't a live mix. I always thought they mixed it live on the radio. Nah, that's pre-recorded. And he pre-played the mix for me. Then we started talking about colonics. I was like, man, I was like, I'm scared. I don't want none in my booty. He was like, yo, nah, you gonna feel better. Like, man, you never know how much waste you got in your body. Like, we talking about just weird, random man conversations. And then it was like, man, I'm gonna drop you off at the crib. And he brought me back. You been on the block? Snow, you been on the block. He said, I never thought I'd be back amongst these niggas before. But he lived in an all black community, but people just got bread. You know what I'm saying? You're like, I never thought I'd come back to Inglewood, my nigga. Damn, dog, you need to come back here to South Suburbs, man. Get the fuck about Inglewood. And I thought about that. I thought about you. I thought about a couple of people. And I'm like, yo, when they think about blacks, they think about the most deleterious situation you can be in. And even Mr. O, and I like Mr. O, and I know where he from. And I talk shit about them shady ass BDs all the time because they stole my fucking pager. And because of a girl, the girl.
I just found out the other day the BD stood for Black Disciple.
Yeah, yes, it does. Here's the weird thing: there's another gang they call Breeds that are BGs, and they're black gangsters. At one point in time, quick gang history. At one time, it was BGD, Black Gangster Disciples, and they branched apart. You got BDs, BGs, and GDs. And then they had the one love policy all the way until Chief Keep them did that bullshit they did in the early 2000s. Like, it was supposed to be the one love policy, like you can be whatever you're gonna be, but we not warned against each other, right? Because they were all quote unquote folks.
The other day I was watching a documentary on gangs in Chicago, and they were showing the layout, the map of Chicago, and the gang territories and shit. And it got to the part of North and South Inglewood.
Yeah.
And the wife, I told the wife, I was like, hey, come here. I was like, I let her watch that part of the documentary. I said, that's the part of Chicago that fucking Dirty had me coming down to by myself to meet him. She's like, are you serious? Serious as a heart attack. She's like, you one brave motherfucker.
But nothing happened to you, and nothing was going to happen to you. Here's the thing, bro. They have this impression, because of the brand, how the brand works, right? That a particular group of people are inherently violent, whether they're black youth, or they're white supremacists, or they're young Mexicans that all supposed to be MS-13. You know what I mean? They have this inherent thing that they'll take the bottom 20% of every other group and compare it to the top 20% of white people. And I'm like, yo. So then when they were like, oh, I don't deal with black people. Like, bro, you black. Oh, I made it out. Well, you were made it out means that you didn't do what you were supposed to do. But cool, right? Because what you're supposed to do is create an environment that you feel comfortable in, not run to an environment other men built for you to feel comfortable in. That's part of being a man, right? But don't worry about that part, right?
Right.
If I say something as simple as 80% of any group of men don't do bullshit, and 90 shit in most cultures, 98% of men aren't violent. I will say in black culture, 94% aren't violent. Like 6% of people are fucking sociopaths, my G. Fucking, they be like, man, it's 30 murders. There wasn't 30 killers. You know what I'm saying? It was like 3 killers. 30 murders, 3 killers.
That's kind of a valid point.
Then you realize, like, yo, you're not the exception. You're not even exception, because you have to be exceptional to be an exception.
Right. Like,
you're not an exception. To say that you were never part of a fraternity isn't really a flex to me. You know, I ain't go outside.
No, flex to me is, honestly, can you go into a new neighborhood and hang out on the front stoop like you know everybody your whole life? That's a flex.
And you know who's great at that? Hood
Me?
hood people, regardless of ethnic. That's why I say hood niggas. Hood people. When I have not can go into any place and make it their own. They fit in where they supposed to fit in. Find something in common to talk about. That's that's what men do. That's how you commune in unity. That's the basis of community. Like people go to places where they think that they won't run into. Bro, you know how many places I'm everywhere, bro. When I hear stuff like if you outside, you can't do certain shit. Well, why can't you? I know scholars who played football. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Went to college on an academic scholarship and was a walk on a football team and ended up, excelling. I know a lot of brilliant drug dealers. I know a lot of dumb, successful drug dealers. I know a lot of rich, dumb niggas. I don't know how they don't get put no license, no insurance, pistol in the car, trunk full of bullshit, and make it home from Florida. I'm like, how does dumb motherfucker make it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of shit just be arbitrary. Niggas just be oh, you can't be a thug and play chess. Shit, who play chess more than motherfuckers in jail?
Chess masters.
Okay, let's play that game. Right, let's play that game. How many people play basketball versus how many people make it to the NBA? You know what I'm saying? A chess master is like the NBA of chess, and I respect that. Everybody that hoop don't go pro. Everybody that play chess don't go pro. But everybody can still play chess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fair enough.
Motherfuckers see dirty folks all day, and I accept that because I named myself. But I played chess against my dad until I beat him. I think I was 20 when I beat my dad, and I ain't playing him anymore. I want to leave on time.
I ain't gonna lie, I was never able to beat my dad.
I caught his ass slipping one day when I was 20, and I know it was a lucky victory, and I quit. I never played with his ass again. I want to leave on top.
Well, it kind of pissed me off, dude. Chess was one of the first games I ever learned how to play.
Same here. What's it chess?
I think I was like 5 or 6 years old when my dad taught me how to play chess.
Yeah, I was around that age, 6, 8, something like that. I don't know if that was the first game. But it was one of. I think the first game I learned how to play was bingo. I don't know if that count though. But these are things that happen, B. Like there's the American experience that everybody holds dear. And then it's what Gorilla Pete said. When Gorilla Pete told me a couple years back, he said, man, everybody had a chance to choose what they wanted their ethnic group to be about. And everybody chose whatever they're going to choose, whether it's the Irish wanted to be in politics, what Irish wanted to be police. The Italians wanted to be restaurateurs, whatever. All black men wanted to do is be able to date white women. They chose pussy. They rejected what they were known for. Now, what black people were known for in 1960, Mexicans are known for in 2020. And old black men be like, oh, I'm gonna get a Mexican to cut my grass. I'm gonna get a Mexican to do do roof repair. I'm like, that's what you told us not to do in 1980 because I was slave shit. Yeah, I need you to go to college. Don't do that slave shit. But now Mexicans are ones.
Well, yeah. Why not? Tell me why they shouldn't.
I don't care that they tell me why you told me it was wrong.
That's the better question.
Somebody had to do it. You were in the position to do it. You didn't want to do it. Told your kids not to do it. And now you say, yo, they're better. Mexicans are better. Black people. You're on the panels, you hear them. Mexicans have a better culture than black people. They have black culture. What 1950s black culture was. They have black culture with a different language because they speak Spanish. Doing the same shit.
I mean, really, if you want to keep it a buck, everybody has a better culture than most Americans.
I would argue that America doesn't really have a culture. America is an amalgamation of other people's cultures. And may the best man win. But America doesn't America doesn't need a culture because America isn't built on culture. America is built on corporatocracy, whatever sells.
Give me a second, man. I'm gonna change this fucking XLR cable because this is killing me.
Yeah, it was an SLR cable. Maybe if I knew what the SLR cable was, my audio would be better. I don't know.
You don't know what an XLR is?
Nope, I just saw that shit flash on my thing. Like, yo, if you got an SLR, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I'm going ahead and rock this. I just started like when I started my show, and I was trying to figure out how to do my audio because my box doesn't work anymore. Well, it works, but I don't know what I did to make my mic echo. That's why I'm using the headpiece.
No. Did that? Nope, that didn't fix it.
You louder.
Am I?
Yeah. I mean, you was alright before, but now you been louder.
Now I got a hum going on, and I don't know what it's from.
Nah, that's enough. You got it plugged up or something? That sounds like a feedback. The hum sound like a feedback. I don't hear it though.
Yeah, I'll figure it out later. I probably got to reboot my computer. Stay on here real quick, man. Let me do that. It'll take me 30 seconds to reboot.
All right. While you do that, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this. I want to go to this part right here. More of this part right here about freed slaves.
Thomas Almond Ashby was 17 years old when he watched his father inform the family slaves on their Front Royal, Virginia plantation that they were all now free. In his 1914 memoir, The Valley Campaigns, Ashby recalled that his father told the ex-slaves that he had no further control over them, and that in the future he would pay them for their services based on wage rates established by the community. He told them that if they wished to stay in his employ, they could do so as long as they desired, but that if any of them wished to seek out a new home, he wouldn't try to stop them from making a change. The elder Ashby further assured the now freed people that he had nothing but a friendly desire to see them do well and be happy. He also warned them of the altered conditions that freedom would bring, and he urged them to cultivate habits of thrift and industry. He believed hard work would make them useful citizens and earn them self-respect, which is some pretty ironic advice coming from a slave owner. According to Ashby, it took several years before all of the ex-slaves had finally left the plantation. One, a woman known only as Aunt Susan, seemed to take Ashby's advice about thrift to heart. After saving up 3 years' worth of money she earned taking in the wash and doing light work, she was actually able to buy a neat little house in the city.
Hey, that's crazy work right there. Think about that. She did laundry and washed dishes and earned enough money to get a crib. This is when people talk about slavery, man. To me, the irony of when black people talk about slavery. Once again, slavery is a man thing. It's not a woman thing. Everything that women do in slavery is what women do naturally. Like
I figured it out. The hum's on your end.
hums on my end. I be humming. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a feedback on your end where I'm getting a hum in my earphones.
I'll check the audio. Let me see something.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like your audio jack from your headset.
That's not it.
Yep, it went away.
Okay. All right. So, like, the
But now I can't. Now you're kind of washed out.
Put this here. Let me see if I can still hear. If I can switch this one. That's something they gonna let me do. They let me switch my mic around, but they won't let me switch my speakers around. That's crazy. Because I got a headpiece on, so that the mic is connected to the headpiece.
Right.
Which is, but yeah, man, like all I'm saying is like she bought a house, washing dishes, and doing laundry. Like slavery for women was about taking care of kids, and all these chicks want to be home care aides and had home daycares and everything else. That was women's slave work. Washing dishes, doing laundry, cooking, the things that women tend to do when they, unless they can afford a home, a housekeeper or a cook. Like that's what you do anyway.
Is that what my wife has as a housekeeper?
Yeah, your wife a slave according to slave standards. You gotta feed yourself and make sure you don't get lice and make sure you got clean clothes. That's slavery, bro. That's slavery for women. Like that intrinsically.
So my wife, me making her go out and work like I do, that's the definition of slavery.
For women, yeah, for women. Like
that's crazy. I mean, I dig it, but
and people are like, oh, we had some slavery going on. It was so bad, and black people. I'm like, yo, women didn't do shit. So slavery was sweet for women. The best time in American history for women. You bought a house from washing clothes and cleaning the crib for 3 years. Cool. Bought a house.
My wife, she used to be a quote unquote, mild feminist, she says. I don't believe her. I mean, she could have been, I think every woman has a little bit of feminism built into them.
Every woman has penis envy. Feminism is really penis envy. Every woman has a little bit of penis envy. And I do that.
But what I will say is, she did tell me that the biggest mistake women ever did was want equal rights with men. She said they actually had more power when they stayed at home. In all honesty, and it makes sense the way she framed it. She's like, "Fuck, we got to stay. All we had to do is stay at home. Make sure your lunch was packed when you went to work in the morning. Have dinner ready when you got home. Lunch if you came home for lunch. All we had to do is, fuck you and suck you every now and again. And basically we had full access to the finances and everything else.
All she had to do is what she does for her kids plus a little bit of sex.
Mm-hmm.
With the same guy. Instead of doing it for her kids and then having to sleep with me because you don't like your baby daddy, but you're still fucking.
And women gave up that freedom to basically have, hot girl summer all year long to be able to go to work and make money for themselves.
And I agree. And it's even worse in the black community because black men are cowards.
Is coward really the right word though?
Yes. They're scared of women. They're literally afraid of women, bro.
Well, I know there's something there because there's got to be a reason why it seems like the vast majority of black men feel this, internal need to defend every black woman's honor, especially when it's defending against another man, talking shit to him, and specifically a white man.
Any man, really, but it's that. But chivalry is chivalry, right?
Yeah, but my chivalry only goes as far as my front door.
That is what it's supposed to be, right? But
I had black women on a panel one day ask me, because I said that, I was telling them there's no social contract that I ever signed stating that I have to defend all women. I don't expect other men to defend my wife. And it's like, so if your wife was out and somebody attacked your wife and there was other men there that could have stopped it and didn't, you wouldn't be mad? I was like, no, I wouldn't. What I would be mad about is why the fuck was my wife putting herself in a situation where she could be attacked by another fucking man when I wasn't around?
I agree. There's something baked into the cake for men, right? And this is the grace that I give, but it's a very, very, very small grace.
I'm just saying, I don't expect other men to do that shit. It's not right for women to think that other men should.
I get you. You got a son that you actually love, the son, right? You got one that you like. So you have a son, and your son will allow you the grace to check your wife. No matter how he feels about it, you don't know what he says in his diary or to his friends at school, but he's not going to confront his father about how his father treats his mother.
Absolutely not.
However, if you were not around, he would mean mug every dude in the grocery store that looked at his mother.
He does to this. He actually does do that. Other dudes don't. He isn't he isn't fond of other men coming up and talking to his mom when I'm not around.
Baked into the cake. At 2 years old, you intrinsically know I must protect my mother and my sister from all threats, both foreign and domestic. That is baked into the cake. The problem with black culture is that it's an infantile, toddlerish culture. That they do things that you're supposed to grow out of at puberty way too long. Like I expect every girl to do dumb shit all the way through college. They're all gonna be feminists. They're all gonna protest some dumb shit that really helped them. They all gonna eat a little coochie, suck a dick they shouldn't.
Damn, you give them way more grace than I do because I expect them to do dumb shit till the day they stop sucking air.
I expect them to be dumb until they stop sucking air. But the penalty of not doing dumb shit stops around junior, senior year of college, right? Generally speaking. That's generally speaking when most people.
And that right there is probably part of the problem is you give them grace and exception until they're adults to get away with dumb shit.
No, I don't. I'm not giving them grace. I'm saying I understand that that's normally when the shit they supposed to stop doing at 12, they stop doing at 21, generally speaking. I think they're retarded personally. But black women do this shit till they 45, 50. And black men don't check it. The grace that I give isn't the grace I give women. It's an acceptance I give other groups of men that they won't tolerate that shit after a certain point. And I think they tolerate it too long, letting their kids. I don't think girls should go to college. I mean,
you are right about that because even I was guilty of it. I tolerated the shit far too long. I mean, until I met my wife and then I finally put my foot down and said, look, this is how shit's going to be. And if this ain't how shit's going to be, then we ain't going to be.
And women do what men allow. So they'll kowtow. They'll be like, okay, cool. You said don't do that. They still might try to sneak and do it, but they're not going to openly do it because they know it's not acceptable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with a girl. I know she was a slut, but her dad didn't know she was a slut. And she was a perfect daughter when I met her dad. You know what I'm saying? As soon as we left, and I mean, she's sucking dick while I'm driving. But she was the perfect daughter around her dad. But socially, so many people allow, especially black men, allow women to do everything. Like a big issue I had with Izzy. With Israel Mills is, and I like Izzy. Like this ain't nothing I ain't told him to his face. Is the grace he gives women to disrespect him that he won't give anybody else. You the white man or the other dude, he the gay man. And he has all type of things to say to groups that in which he feels is quote unquote outside. But
yeah.
He ain't got shit to say to these dumb bitches, and I'm like, yo,
they should be the first ones he's saying shit to because they're actually in house,
right? And I'm like, yo, I don't.
How you going to tell people outside the house that they need to be in order when you ain't even got your own house in order?
Even that. Look, how do you think you could be the man if you can't be the girl? That's where I'm at. I mean, I'm shit as simple as that. You can't, nigga, you can't check me. My dad can't say nothing to me unless he check his baby mama. You know what I'm saying? And this baby mama is my mother. We had that argument all the time. I'm like, get your baby mama. Like, that's your mama. Like, nigga, you know her first, nigga. That's your baby mama, but she was my mother. If you can't check my mom, if you're trying to explain to me why you're letting your wife get away with murder,
See, that was different when I grew. I watched my dad damn near beat my mom to death for fucking around on him.
That's infidelity. They care about the pussy. They don't care what she did to you. Yo, they ain't give a fuck what his wife did to you. He wasn't defending.
No, absolutely not.
No, of course not. Like giving away the pussy is his ego thing. That has nothing to do with what goes on in the household. It has nothing to do whether or not she cooks food for the family, whether or not she helps you with your homework, whether or not she steal the money you save from cutting grass because mama need a life too. It has nothing to do with you because he don't give a fuck about you. You're a fucking boomer. He does give a fuck about pussy, so if he beat her ass over pussy, I can see it. But yeah, that's a selfish thing. This is boomer shit. Still scared of, generally speaking, motherfuckers still scared of women, but they'll defend women, which I think is amazing. So you will let her say whatever fuck she gonna say to me, be like, man, dirty chill, that's a girl. And I'm like, nah, fuck that shit. Equal rights, equal left, right?
And you know what? How you speak on that, that's how I feel about these whole race discussions. When people say, you know what, Snowman, you need to, nah, fuck that. I'm tired of this shit. You know, like you just said, equal rights, equal lefts.
I heard some things are regional, right? So I heard Mr. O talking about you in Chicago. There's only pockets of cool shit in Chicago. Most Chicago is hood, and I heard him say that, and I was like, he's right. I mean, he absolutely is right. Like, if you're not from Chicago, you don't understand how mafia-like Chicago is. Like, our mayor was in a mob. Richard Daley was a mafia member.
The whole fucking city's built by the mafia.
We a mob-ass city. Gangs.
I mean, I just found out by doing some history on Chicago, research on Chicago, that you guys have an underground city 3 fucking levels deep in fucking Chicago downtown.
Oh yeah, Lower Wacker.
Yeah, I just found out. It's like, what the fuck is this,
bro? Drive down Lower Wacker. Well, the second Richard J. Daley was the mafia member. Richard M. Daley was the son. Richard M. Daley tried to clean up a little bit, but man, they had the dope dealers, the homeless, and then that's where you go. Like when you at all the hotels in downtown, that's where the trucks go because you can't block traffic on Wacker Drive or Michigan Avenue. That's a magnificent mile. So there's all the truck ports are down underground. Like, bro, it's a whole. It ain't 3 layers though. It's 2 layers. It might be 3 layers.
No, they said it. They said that there's 3 levels to it. The bottom level is where they do all the impound storage and shit.
It might be 3 levels. You're absolutely right. It might be 3 levels. But the 3rd level is industrial. The 2nd level, like, people be kicking it, bro. Like, you could drive down the 2nd level.
Yeah, they was saying that on the 2nd level, that's where they do a lot of the street racing and shit.
Bro, I think, you know what? I can't say they lying or not, but I will say, you better not fuck up, bro, because it's a lot of concrete. Like, that's what they do, like the Batman movies when you see them.
Yeah. I saw that too. That's where the Dark Knight was filmed. Was on the 2nd level.
Yeah, like this should be wild. Like, yeah. I can't see drag racing down there though, because it's a lot of turns, a lot of concrete. But
no, when they're talking about that kind of race, they're talking about drift racing.
I can see it. I can see it. I've never done it, but I can see it. But it is what it is, though. Like, Chicago isn't a place like any other place. Maybe New York is like that. Like, you can really be a professional. I just found out our mayor was GD. It's like, man, he one of the folks. He the mayor. College educated, you know what I'm saying? Used to be a teacher. Like, you can have professions, but mob culture is baked into Chicago. So it's a lot of things that people say about you can't do this and do that if you outside. I'm like, yo, that's Chicago in a nutshell. So that's why I never understood these conversations. And then I realized it's regional. Like, you expect the most deleterious people in Rhode Island to be have-nots, But in Chicago, they be a lawyer. Your lawyer be like a Blackstone or some shit. You be like, yo, it's real shit. Our county treasurer, the Chicago county treasurer, was a Blackstone that was also part of the Nation of Islam.
I don't know what a Blackstone is.
Yeah, fucking cousin of a vice lord. You know what a vice lord is? Like,
Oh, okay.
like BDs is like a smaller subsection of GD.
I know there's like fucking 30 different gangs in fucking Chicago.
Yeah, depending on area. Yeah, it's like that. It's so they under the they're I ain't gonna disrespect their mom, but he like doing a thing. But you still went to college, you still got your law degree, you still ran for for a county seat, won, do the
You
budget.
He still took it up the ass and sucked a few dicks to get to the top.
That's wild. That is crazy. I've never been invited to those parties. I don't know. And I show up at the parties for the free food. But maybe that happens after I leave, like the party.
You must not stay for the Diddy party part.
Yeah, they must have like a after party that I don't get invited to because they mad I ate all the food at the regular party. I don't go to the after party. I never get, and I'm there. I'm documented there. Like I'm there, like straight from Inglewood to City Hall. I've never been invited to the Diddy party, and I don't want to be. I'm not saying that like I'm jealous. Like oh my god, I'm just saying like I don't know. I've never been invited to the Diddy party.
It's probably better that way.
Yeah, cause I turn that bitch out. Like what the fuck?
I mean, you got enough stories that are suspect, man. The last thing you need is to fucking pop off with a Diddy tail, man. And dude, you'd never hear the end of it. That'd ruin your reputation on YouTube.
Nah, but look, when you go outside, look, to be fair, when you go outside, you meet all type of people, bro. And I have been in weird situations with people I didn't know. And that'd be another story.
Look, dude, you know when shit's about to get way too weird, even for weird people.
Yeah, I know that. I know when it's time to go home. And that's anything. Like, oh, they about to fight over a girl. Shit out the parking lot. Let me leave.
Some
like,
eyes wide shut, only the gay version.
Look, anytime bullshit about to happen, I'm gone. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gone.
Dude, my stomach, look, man, my guts never lie. Ever. And every time I've ever ignored my gut, it's always fucked me over.
That's why you got to go to a Diddy party, man. I've never been invited, bro. I don't know if I feel excluded or vindicated, but I've never.
I don't know, man. I'd feel like part of the winning group of people that didn't get invited.
Like them goddamn Qs, right? And no disrespect to the Qs, but like I hang out with the Qs because they be having free food too. So I hang out with the Qs for a minute, and for some reason they think they're the black bourgeois, which is amazing to me because I've been to college. I know the Qs are the dumb jocks, but I let them be great though because chicken don't cook itself, right? And they always say wild shit to me like. It's almost like I ain't gonna say it's almost like SKC, but it's like, yo, you got to be born into this, man. We the top elite, man. I be laughing like, well, how could I be down? And they be like, man, look, man, you got to be going through trials, and I'm laughing all the time. I'm laughing because I'm right here next to you eating your chicken while I'm like, oh my god, you're so cool. Pass me a beer, like, and they're like, yeah, because we're special, and I'm like, I'm with y'all all the time. Never pay to get in. Eat for free, crack my little jokes and dip all the time. Like I don't think they know what exclusion means, and that's my thing with most of these panels. Like I don't deal with. I'm like, yo, bro, you were included in somebody else's culture. Like I don't think you know what exclusion means. You think you're special? It's weird, man. It's strange action.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to root for the have-nots. I'm not here for that because I want everybody to have. I think the most dangerous people are have-nots.
I don't know, man. I think that It's I agree with you on I guess a moral level, but economically you can't have, you know, middle and upper class without an underclass. I mean, everybody can't be wealthy. I mean, that's just the reality of life.
Okay, well, wealth is different than being a have not.
Not really, man, because wealth is subjective.
Wealth is subjective. Section 8 is wealthy, right? Wealth is just how long you can live without an increase in work and a decrease in lifestyle. That's wealth. It's not rich. Rich is how much money you have. Wealth is how long can you maintain without working, keeping the same lifestyle. Section 8 is wealthy, generally speaking.
I mean, to a certain degree, you ain't wrong, man. I know a lot of people on Section 8 and getting EBT that are living and eating better than me.
And they can't get a job or they'll lose their benefits. So you'll never increase your riches, your monetary value, but you have a lifestyle that you don't have to work and you can maintain that lifestyle. That's wealth. I agree that everybody can't be wealthy and everybody can't be rich, but everybody is not necessarily a have not. When I say have not, I mean, can I get some change? You know what I mean? Speaking of, can I get some change? Can I get some cash apps? Go donate to the stream, man. I ain't monetized. But
don't you think that having to go without though helps build character and helps build the tools and the drive needed for success though?
Depends on the person. But I do believe this though. That depends on the person. One desiring to have something will, like my desire at 16, 17-year-old, there was nothing more that I wanted in life than to move out my parents' house. I did all type of shit, nigga. Work. You know what I'm saying? All my boys got me a job at the fucking theater, and I'm moving dope and during the lunch period at high school. Like there's nothing that could have stopped me. Like girls called me gay. They like, you want some pussy? I'm like, nah, shorty, I'm grinding. You must be gay. Because I knew back then at 17, 18 years old, if you refuse pussy, you must be gay. But like, bitch, I got shit to do. I'm trying to get the fuck up out my parents' crib. These motherfuckers nuts. So that the hardship of living under a roof where a man can't check his woman motivated me to be great. Because once you start getting shit, you are introduced to other people, start trying to get shit, and you get more shit. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, so, I remember wanting to get out of my fucking mom's house so bad.
You know, that was my motivation. I didn't have like a grand goal. Like, man, I want to go to the pros or be a lawyer. I was like, I need enough money to pay 3 months security because I'm too young to have an apartment. They're gonna charge me 2 months security, first month rent. I need that much money plus enough money for a bed and blah blah. That was my goal at 17 years old. It's not a grand goal.
I moved out the fucking day I turned 18. The day. My mom called the cops on me and shit, tried to say that get me for fucking kidnapping. Cop was like, what do you expect me to do? He's 18. Well, he's still in school. He's only a junior in high school.
Hey, how the hell she got lock you up for kidnapping? How the fuck that work? You kidnapped yourself?
Yeah, well, she was trying to get me for I don't know, man. She's just trying to get me fucking in trouble for something. And the cop was like, there's nothing I can do. It doesn't matter if he's still in high school. He's 18. What do you want me to do about it? And I pointed and laughed at that bitch and walked out.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. By 18, my mom was trying to get me killed. So by accident, just being dumb. But
dude, if I would have had to spend another year in that house with my mom, I would have ended up in fucking jail.
Bro, I ended up in LA. I was through with it, and I had a friend. He was like, "I'm about to move to LA. Just wait for me, bro." I ended up going to Savannah, Georgia, for a year, and he moved to LA while I was in Savannah. He was like, "Man, look, as soon as you leave Georgia, man, come to LA, bro. It's sweet out here." Then we ended up moving to West Covina. Like, bro, there was a point in my life, bro, that there was nothing I wanted to do more than stay away from Chicago. Because to me, Chicago was, childhood. Now, and my sister did the same thing. Moved to Detroit, then moved to Atlanta. Like she will not come to Chicago for shit. Well, she won't come back to her childhood home for shit. If she comes to Chicago, she'll be downtown at the hotel.
I won't go back to my childhood home for nothing either.
Like it is what it is, and that's.
And I didn't grow up, dude. I didn't grow up in a bad town. You know, I grew up in a really nice fucking rural farm town. I refuse to go back there.
That's how boomers fucked up community. That's the
I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of try to avoid the whole fucking state in general.
Yeah, you do. You get a lot of boomers in Ohio too. Plus, it's Ohio. Who won't live in Ohio? But boomers kill community, and now I'm listening to boomers do all this shit about wealth and building community, and I'm like, y'all killed community.
Well, what's crazy about the fucking boomers is not only they kill community, they killed family structure. They put their own fucking parents in nursing homes, and then they get pissed that their own kids don't want nothing to do with them. They're at the age now that their parents were, and that they think that their kids should be taking care of them. And like, fuck you. You didn't take care of your parents, and you didn't take care of me. Why the fuck should I take care of you?
And that's it. You burn the candle on both ends. And I saw that with my parents. I'm like, yo, y'all didn't really like granddad. My father tried to insult me one day and said, "Oh, you acting like your granddad." I'm like, that was my guy. Like, you act like that's an insult. Granddad was my guy.
My uncle fucking pissed me off one day and said I was just like my dad. I punched him right in his fucking face.
Oh, okay, but here's the difference.
I did too, man. I punched him right in his shit.
Hey, look, man. I wouldn't take that one either. I ain't gonna lie. But my grandfather was cool. I have a cousin.
My grandpa was one of the realest motherfuckers I ever knew.
My grandfather too. But my mom's a boomer. They told my female cousin, "You act just like auntie," and she started crying. When I heard that, I cried laughing, bro. Like, you act like auntie, and she just started crying, and I'm like, you do though. Like, like I don't fuck with you up. Like, and that's another thing in the black community. Once you say I don't want to deal with this type of behavior, you become ostracized. So me saying, man, fuck girls with black mothers. I ain't never even said, because black being a color, I don't even care about that. Culturally, like, fuck black female culture. And they be like, oh man, you a sellout.
Well, isn't pretty much all of black culture black female culture at this point?
Yes. Yes. And I'm like, yo, fuck black female culture. Like,
I mean, you look at these YNs and how they're running around. They're running around like fucking zesty ass fucking women.
Bruh. Yes. And nobody wants to.
Nobody checks them.
Well, you can't check them. You can't check them. And I'll tell you why you can't check them. Besides the fact they're hyper violent, but that's not even why you can't check them. Okay, I'll give you an example of how afraid black men are of black women. Women in general, but black women in particular. Once upon a time, I'm on a block. There's a kid. This kid can't be more than 10, 11 years old. He's trying to ride a bike. Very 10-year-old thing to do, right? But he might not even been 10. He might have been younger than that. But he can't ride the bike because he can't get that first push off the pedal. Like, if the bike in motion, he won't fall. But he can't start the bike. So he keep falling trying to get on the bike.
Mm-hmm.
And so I held the bike for him, and I tried to teach him, like, he's doing the pedals wrong. Like, you're not supposed to go.
You taught him where to actually position the pedal to get a good push off?
Yes, exactly right. Don't do it when the pedal at the bottom. Do it at the top. Jump on it. Exactly right. How to prepare yourself. And a bunch of grown men that were around me was like, yo, folks, chill, man. Don't fuck with that little boy. His mama gonna come out here snapping, bro. She gonna beat all our ass. I'm like, what? Nigga, fuck her. Nigga, I don't even know who the fuck she is, but who the fuck you mad for? I helped our son out. Fuck her and her son. So that's where I'm at with it now. And Shorty didn't do anything wrong. Nothing wrong. But the fact that everybody was afraid to even help him ride a bike because they're afraid of his mother is some wild shit.
That is wild shit. That's
Same,
boomer shit, though.
bro. And these motherfuckers our age, bro. And we talking this about 10 years ago, so we was in our 30s. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 10, 15 years in our 30s, and they're scared. But they were all raised by their grandmother. All of them raised by their grandmother.
Well, see, that's the thing, man, is there's some of that in the white culture too, as far as, you know, these single moms not wanting anybody to put their hands on their kids, which to me is absolute. It don't make no sense, because if you ain't going to put your hands on your kids and no one else is putting their hands on your kids, well, then the only thing left to put their hands on your kids is a fucking cop.
That says the police, and they'll call the cops on their own kids.
And then you wonder why these kids hate cops.
And not only will they call the cops on their kids, they will vote for legislation to be the parent that they're afraid to be.
But then what's wild about it is, with your community, you'll still see them same kids whose moms called the cops on them defending their fucking mamas.
You know where that comes from? Men that's afraid of women.
Because I'm going to tell you what, if my mom ever put me in fucking jail, I wouldn't have fucking defended her.
But that comes from men that are afraid of women. Like, okay, let's play that position out, right? So your and we're talking, there's no more intimate woman in a man's life than their mother. That's the first woman you meet, right? And
that's the first woman that every boy falls in love with.
Right. And your first love, I argue all the time that black men worship women because they're looking for the hug they never got from their mother.
Right.
But the woman who's supposed to love you, you love her, she ain't got to love you back. That's not required.
No.
When things go wrong, though, you go, well, first of all, these YNs, they go talk to other girls their age about women. You're supposed to talk to men. But regardless, right, let's say you did talk to guys, and they tell you, especially boomer men, you only get one mother, man, you gotta love your mother regardless, man, you know, that's your mom. I'm like, yo, that's the title, that's not the person.
See, like what some I've noticed is, like, in black culture, it seems like black men feel this undeserving, like, need to want to take care of their moms and shit. Not just from physical things, physical harm, but on a financial level too.
Right. 12 years old. Think about this. Think about
me, dude. I didn't give a fuck whether my mom was homeless.
Look, I didn't either. But I knew that my dad. How many times you heard me tell my father to get his baby mama? Like, I know that my mother is my father's bitch. My father bought my mother a house. My father bought my mother a car. My father gave my mother allowance. So I didn't even, until I was an adult, I didn't realize how many 12-year-old boys was yelling, I gotta buy my mom a house.
Nah, fuck that. I ain't buying my mom shit.
I'm buying my mom shit. I might get depending on how I feel, she might get a birthday gift.
The only mom that's getting anything from me is the mom that birthed my fucking kids.
But that's your baby mama. You get to choose the woman you want to be with. You don't get to choose your parents, right? In the black community, it's a reverence of women. I don't even understand it because I was a slut. That's why I got so many stories, right? Like, for me, and I laugh. Shout out to Elijah. I don't know where Elijah at, but shout out to my mentee. We crack jokes all the time about all these people on social media. They got a body kind of like 20, and they're dating coaches, and they gonna be a Mac coach. And like, oh my God, he was with 20 girls. I'm like, nigga, I was with 20 girls junior year in high school. Like, nigga, I'm damn near hitting 1,000, and I'm chilling.
Yeah, I think I was probably about a junior year when I finally started coming out of my shell.
Bro, like junior. See, what happens is when girls still have buddies, if you smash one girl,
wait. Nope, that's right. The very first girl that I was ever really serious with, I was 16. I was a sophomore in high school, and she was 21, and my mom was pissed.
I said, well, I got my first. I wasn't 20. I was 21 when I got my first girlfriend, and she was 25. So I get it.
No, I was still in high school dating someone that was old enough to fucking drink.
I never had a high school girlfriend. I was a slut. I was a slut, bro. We had girls that were like, I want to be a GD sister, and they was fucking like, yeah, I heard you had to fight a fucking, and I want to fuck you folks, and I'm like, all right, cool, and like going through that, we going to like basement parties, and R. Kelly first came out with Honey Love, and like girls in the basement like, oh, you look good under this red flash of strobe light. You want to do it behind the wash and dryer machine? I'm like, sure, I ain't doing shit else. It's a basement. Like that was my teenage years, just a bunch of fucking hot ass.
See, that's why I never got involved with like bike gangs or anything like that, because of that same shit right there, man. I ain't trying. I wasn't trying to share what was mine. Fuck that.
They wasn't mine. Like I didn't claim a girl until I was 21. You know what I'm saying? So I was just freestyling life, going to the hangout house. You know that one house with.
Nah, dude. Even if I was fucking it and I wasn't dating it, I didn't like sharing.
I ain't give a fuck.
You know what I'm saying? For real, dude. I didn't like sharing my fucking booty calls with my homeboys.
I wonder about sharing with the homeboys. Like it ain't your girl, it's just your turn. Like I don't. It wasn't like me and my guys was running trains, even though we did that too later. But it was like girls just like me, whatever the case may be, but they didn't like me. Like there's a strange thing that goes on in YouTube that they try to teach men how to be the perfect man for a woman who wears a $10 dress and then begs that $10 bitch to please be humble for the guys that's working hard to be with her. And that never worked. Like for me, it came down for me, it was like, I want to date a girl who doesn't remind me of my mother. I mean, behavior wise. Like first I thought looks, because my mom was a little bitty lady. She like a 12-year-old boy. My mom was little. She was like 5'1", 85 pounds. She was little. So like first I thought I was just finding girls with big titty, big ass. Nah, they still acted like my mom. Like I didn't like the behavior. So I'm going from girl to girl trying to find a girl that can make me smile. Like I'm making you smile. I'm funny. I'm charming. I'm endearing. I'm buying the tacos. Well, at that time it was pizza puffs, but regardless, right? I'm buying the pizza puffs. And me and my dad had an argument in front of a girl about that when I was 18 or 17, because I brought a girl home and I had to pay $36 for this girl. $36 in 1990s money, bro. I bought her.
Damn, that was a grip in 1990s.
For me, bro. 1990s money. I bought her a pair of $11 all white patent leather boots from Sherness for $11, and I bought her a blue jean overall short set because I was hot at the time, like TLC was out, for like $9 or $10, and then I had bought the hair.
Damn, you must have went to Value City for that shit.
I went to the mall though, like Rainbow or Lane Brand, some shit. Where the fuck I went, still like $10, and then I went and bought, because girls didn't have like full heads of weave back then. They used to get pieces. Like you'll buy like a bundle of hair.
Yeah, they get extensions and shit.
Yeah, and the extension bundle cost me $6. I had to get 3 of them. It was $2 a piece. That was that old yak hair. And then so I'm at 26, and then I paid my homegirl Giovanna $10 to braid her hair. So I was like $36, bro. And I paid $36 just because I wanted to go to the movies with the girl. And
dude, look at the fucking inflation on that shit now,
bro. I paid $36 to take this bitch to the movies. I was gonna get in free because all my boys worked at the theater. And then she came to my crib, and my dad saw her. It's like, oh my God. And I never forget that shit, because me and my dad started arguing in front of the girl. And he was like, oh, my son's so lucky that, like, you so pretty. My son lucky to have you. I was like, how the fuck am I lucky to have her? It's my car. It's my money. It's my show. Like, nigga, she lucky to be with me. And me and my dad, I should have known then he was a cuck. Because we had a whole argument about that. I was like 17, 18 years old, man, about who lucky to be with who.
Dude, my family used to be friends with, or my mom and stepdad were friends with the guy that ran a local movie theater in the town that I grew up in. So I used to be able to go and take girls get a hold of him, and he'd let me take girls into the movie theater by myself. It'd just be us watching movies, just me and the girl.
Oh, that's dope. My guys did that for me once. But no, my guys, what it be is they'll charge me a weed. They'll be like, give me a nickel bag of weed. Like, and then I go to the movies, and because here's what they were doing. I found this out later. So when you go to the movies, you know how they tell you a ticket.
Uh-huh.
What they were doing is they wouldn't tear the ticket. They'll keep the whole ticket. And then when the theater was over, they'll go back with the whole ticket and get a refund. So they were robbing the theater. They was making like an extra $200 a day, $150, $200 a day just on ticket refunds.
That's crazy.
Man. So they like, yo, fam, when you come through here, instead of a ticket, go past the ticket booth, act like you handed me a ticket, hand me a bag of weed, I'm gonna slide you in. He said, wait the 15 minutes when the credits go through after the movie come on, come back, I'm gonna be working the concession stand. He said, you can't get nachos or goobers and nothing like that. He said, we count that, but you can get all the popcorn and soda that you want. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I go through and, we go to the movie and she's like, I want some popcorn. I'm like, wait a minute, give us 10 minutes. And then I go back out when the movie start. And then my man be there. And I'm like, I got you. And then he's like, all right, bet. And that was my operation, bro. So but I had to get her there. I had to put soap and water on her to get her there.
Right.
And these are the things, and I watched my dad like fold for a 17-year-old girl. And I'm like, Pops, you tripping. And my whole thing was like, let me find a girl. And all the girls I found out was cool. And so I've met a couple of cool black girls, but you couldn't deal with them. Because black girls are in this weird space. They can help you or they can fuck you, but they can't do both.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if she wants to fuck me because she thinks I'm articulate or funny or whatever the case, and she wants me to be great, she'll do whatever. If I lay any pipe on her, that bitch will forget how to count, how to read. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird, bro. Now you're entitled. Like, I gave you some pussy. You should give me your life. And I'm like, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? You got situations like when they were talking about earlier on Hood Show, when they were talking about the thug effect. And most men not being thugs, but you judge men based on women's sexual desire. And black women don't grow out of that. You know what I'm saying? White girls will grow out of wanting to be with the Fonz. The Fonz is cool. Think about this. The Fonz was a 30-year-old homeless man that hung out with high schoolers.
Right.
And high school girls liked the Fonz because he was a 30-year-old homeless man with a motorcycle. But then when they...
Hold on. Okay.
But, they grew out of that shit.
Right.
They didn't stay... What happened?
What the fuck is going on?
I'm trying to...
There we go. Oh, wait. You're playing something I don't want to play yet.
Oh, that's what it is. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, you were playing something I don't want to play yet. But give me, because I want you to listen to this, dude. This is the craziest shit I have ever heard a bitch say in my life. This was that video the last week when I told Hood that I wanted him to play this video real bad when we were talking about bitches and manipulating men and whatever.
Right,
this is the video I wanted him to play, man. I'm just trying to find exactly on my end real quick where to start it. Because I think this might just go ahead and put me up there, dude, because this shit's so fucking wild, dude. It's the shit she says. It ain't going to not blow your mind. You know what I'm saying? Listen to this.
Dumb shit, though. All right.
Listen to this. Hold on. Let me get back to it.
Him, you could be anyone in the world right now as he was performing cunnilingus.
What?
So your husband of 5 years,
What the fuck?
You said you could be anyone in the world right now. What do you? I think I sort of understand what you mean. I mean, I think it's a terrible thing to say, but I think I see what you're saying. Like he's like interchangeable. Is that kind of what?
Yeah. I mean, this was during my first marriage. I started my relationship when I was 23, and I was still like trying to figure out myself. But we were still together. And
were you trying to find yourself?
Well, no, I wasn't trying to find myself. But I think what I'm trying to say is I was still a fledgling trying to learn and grow. And this person, it's difficult when it's like, oh, for your anniversary they buy you DoorDash for. No, it's
Terrible thing right now. You told him
they're men. They
Pal,
thank
I'll just move on. You said you were married, now you're divorced. Your longest relationship of 5 years, one night on Valentine's Day, at the end of your marriage, you told him you could be, I think you said to him, you could be anyone in the world right now as he was performing cunnilingus.
Now think about that for a second. This is just the first wild thing she said.
It's not even as shocking as you think it is, but all right.
No, but that's fucking wild. Telling your husband while he's eating your pussy. You could be anybody down there right now. But just wait, it gets better.
What? So your husband of 5 years.
I'm gonna skip past
like,
this.
for your anniversary, they buy you DoorDash. I would say that that's my take on what I thought at the time was being kind.
But yeah,
Even though it was brutally honest, I think it's better to tell somebody that you're disgruntled versus, commit adultery.
Yeah, sure. But what you were saying was, I don't give a shit about you.
No, that is your words. You're creating a straw man to make my.
I'm trying not to, but.
Well, you're doing it, and
well, how do you give a shit about someone when you're like, you could be Chuck?
Because that's
you could
me
be
trying
Fred.
to
You could just be whoever.
I mean, I had said that again because I was.
You wanted him to know that you cared a lot less about him than he thought, right?
I just was trying to say that I was falling out of love and that I don't understand.
So you cared a lot less about him.
This was while he was going down.
While he was.
I was like, you could be anybody in the world right now. I was not feeling.
Down on women, by the way.
This is like guys that come to my messages on OnlyFans being like, my girlfriend just broke up with me and
had
Who cares what you have to say?
No, I'm sure there's a lot. You said that marked the end of your marriage, and then 2 years later he.
Did this guy?
Now this is where it gets interesting. Listen to this shit.
No, before you push play, I know women who do that. I have a friend. Shout out to Amy. Love Amy. Amy has 4 kids and never had an orgasm. I'm like, yo, Amy, how have you never?
How does that even work?
I asked her. You know what she told? She's like, cause I be wanting, and as soon as he put it in, I start thinking about other stuff. Like, damn, I gotta do laundry and the kids do their homework. I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, yeah,
that's crazy.
Girls are nuts, B. Girls.
Yeah, this just gets even nuttier. Listen.
Hang on, real quick. This just occurred to me. This is your ex-husband, right?
This is my ex-husband.
Yeah. Did he by chance die by suicide?
It was an assisted suicide.
Wait, assisted?
What do you think she means by assisted suicide?
She killed him, or her new girlfriend killed him. I don't know.
Wait.
I mean,
what do you mean assisted?
Means that he got into a confrontation with an officer.
Because he wanted
suicide by cop.
Suicide by cop.
Yeah.
Wanted to die? But is it because he wanted to die?
It's because he wanted to die, yes.
Why did he want to die?
That's a good question, but
That's a good question, right? The same guy she said, while he was, performing fellate or whatever you want to call it on her.
Cunnilingus.
Had his fucking head between her legs, and you could be anybody down there right now.
Bro,
that's the sad part.
But you know what though? Women do things like I had a girl destroy.
Hey, put us on the main, that way you don't get struck for using Brian's shit.
Yeah, like I mean,
you could still have this in the background, just make us forefront.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
I don't think it's because.
Look, I had a girl. I was way too young to be having sex. I think I've told this story before. I was 11 years old. She was an older woman. She was 13. And she was like, let's do the nasty. I don't know where the fuck my illustrious housewife mother was, because she was not at home. My dad was home. I think my mom might have went with her parents. Her parents left Chicago to go to Detroit for a weed smoke weekend or some shit, like some type of weed convention type shit. And 11-year-old me convinced my parents to allow her to spend the night at my house because they thought we were too young to know about sex or whatever. But we had been grinding like with our clothes on in the backyard and all type of stuff already, right? So she was chilling, and look, this is a long time ago. Motherfuckers had like on TV and Spectrum and shit. You had cable with the box, like only one channel type shit, like back then. And we watching cable, and my dad went to bed because he worked, so my dad was sleeping. He went to bed, and Shorty was like, "Your dad's asleep. Let's do it." Because we heard the snore. He's like, "Your dad's asleep. Let's do it." And we did the nasty, right? And I remember when we were done, she sat Indian squatted, right? Like she sat with her legs folded, and she kept touching her stuff. She was like, "I'm not even bleeding," and I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I'm not even bleeding. You ain't even pop my cherry. Your weenie too little to pop my cherry." I was like, "Let me try again." She's like, "Nope, you ain't pop it the first time. You ain't gonna pop it the second time." And I'm like, "Yo," the competitor in me like, "Yo, let me try." And she's like, "Nope." And then I grew up. I'm 11 years old though. I ain't no peach fuzz or nothing like prepubescent me. And now I'm thinking I got a little bitty weenie, and it changed my whole sex style. Like I'm hanging out with lesbians, learning how to have cunnilingus, and me and my boy, shout out to Quincy, me and my boy at Sears in the lingerie section practicing how to pop bras on mannequins and shit. Like, bro, my foreplay is immaculate because of her. So I guess something good came from it. But I was 18 and like 18 years old when the girl told me like, "Ooh, it's in my stomach," and I'm like, "Oh shit, I grew." But in my head, I'm still that 11-year-old kid. For 7 years, I'm the 11-year-old kid who couldn't pop a cherry. You know what I'm saying? So I know how they fuck up your head, bro.
Right. Dude, just let me play some more. This is gonna blow your mind.
It's like his wife said that he was an interchangeable widget with everybody on planet Earth while he was trying to sexually pleasure her. You don't think that like that would be a contributing
I don't
factor?
think that a root
I don't need your help. You don't think I don't need your help. You don't think that that's a contributing factor?
So I'm sorry. Are you putting everything on this?
No, I'm
one
just asking.
incident?
I'm just asking you. Like this sounds kind of miserable to me.
You know, I can sit here and defend.
Dude, you got to see her face though. Put it back up because you got to see her
by
face.
Doing that, it's also hurting like his honor, and I know that his family will be watching this, and this is part of.
Well, why did he do it?
And also, my daughter might be watching this in the future.
Okay, I understand, but why did he do it?
If there's like, how do you know why anybody, decides to opt out of life?
Well, I mean, if you were close to him for how many years after you were divorced did he do this?
2.
Not very long.
No, it's not very long, and so hence why his family, barred me from the funeral.
Damn.
Well, it's all coming.
Oh well.
Family barter from the funeral, but has nothing to do with her.
No, you know what's so weird about that, bro? You know what's so weird? Before you get to the point where you tell your significant other that their sex is trash during intercourse, before you get to that point, do you know how many wild things you've already told them just during the course of the day?
Right.
Like she was a horrible spouse.
Dude, she is a horrible human being. I mean, because it just gets worse.
Coming together.
Responsibility on me.
Why would they do that?
I'm not them, so I couldn't even.
Why do you think that they would do that?
I would believe that they blame me for it.
Why?
Why would they blame me for it?
What reasons did they have for blaming you? You don't usually come up with reasons to blame a person for somebody else's death that are completely unfounded. What did they think?
Again, there's like transgressions that had happened. It's like, are we overlooking the firearm aspect?
You see, you're trying to obfuscate now and take the
firearm aspect is crazy. They post these things.
Yeah, because she called the cops because he pulled a gun on her one night after the fact. All right, but she's trying to maintain the focus on that, even though he's trying to pinpoint as to why he committed suicide and why now his parents didn't want her at the funeral. And I'm sure it has nothing to do with him pulling a gun on her that his parents didn't want her at the funeral. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's not mentally ill. I'm just pointing out, I'm asking you a question, which is why did his family think it's your fault?
That's a public record that had happened.
I know, but why does his family think it's your fault?
So I had divorced him because of the domestic violence, and then 2 years after that we had divorced, and I was getting nothing from child support. 2 years after that, I mean, he's a principal solutions architect at Amazon, was doing $250K easy.
And he wasn't paying you, so what happened then?
So then I decided to date other people.
Okay.
And move on with my life, and then not try.
You didn't take him to court?
For
child support?
Child support? No.
No?
No.
No. So why do they blame you then?
Could it be that there was history of trauma that he had?
Well, why do they blame you though?
See how she keeps trying to put it on him? like he's trying to get her to take some level of accountability here.
You know what though?
For anything at all.
I'm on her side. Bro.
Well, just wait.
Because so okay, there was a text message the morning of the fateful day that said, "You don't have cancer. You are the cancer."
Who doesn't have cancer?
My ex-husband.
So she told a man who had cancer that he didn't have cancer. He was the cancer. In a text message. The day he decided to go ahead and just end it all.
Okay, what's put aside, man? I ain't put nobody business out here. I ain't name dropping or nothing. Well, I ain't even gonna tell that story. I know several stories of people who couldn't let go of their exes, and that's really what it comes down to.
Well, it's kind of hard to let go of an ex too when you have a child with them, right?
Did she have a child with him?
Yeah, they had a kid together. You know, and so you can't. It's different. You know just as well as I do. It's different when you can walk away scot-free, right?
Right.
Than it is when you have a physical connection to somebody that you can't get. You can't walk away from like a kid. Because not all men are built to be able to walk away from their kids. Somebody really want to talk to you.
Man, he don't want shit either. That's the crazy part. He don't want shit. I just refuse to give him my phone number, so that's my fucking call again. FaceTime. Anyway, bro, there's too many guys who can't walk away from girls, though, bro. Like that's an epidemic.
I think all of us men at one point or another have had that one or two different women that we had a hard time walking away from.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
You know, I think all men, especially when they're younger, you know, in their 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, love is a young man's game. I agree. But you have a support group. Like, you need at least one friend. You need somebody that you can talk to. And sometimes I don't even have. My homeboy Raymond tried to kill himself 4 times, bro. But he wasn't really serious about it. He was lame with it. Like, he kept cutting his wrist, but he wasn't going all the way through with it. Like
yeah, it's just somebody who wants attention.
Yeah, but every time he got into it with his baby mom, though, like, they have a huge argument, and he'll try to delete himself. And we like, yo, screw her. And now, you know. And you know what's so crazy about that? On some small world shit? It's I ended up smashing her little cousin and her big cousin is Randy Brown. They used to play for the Bulls, but he was dealing with her before Randy Brown got on the team. Like, and nobody messed with her. Like, she's like the pretty. She pretty, but she crazy. So she just pretty crazy. and
the prettier they are, the crazier they are.
Pretty they are, the crazier they are, and they only crazy because men tolerate things from pretty women. Now they tolerate things from fat women. I don't understand.
No, you're right. Men tolerate a whole hell of a lot more from crazy, pretty women than they do from a fat or an ugly, crazy woman. They'll tolerate a lot more crazy from a pretty woman than they will an ugly woman.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
So am I. So am I, dude.
And I had prettier girls than the pretty girl I took shit from. And the reason I know it, because she had the nerve, because she was pretty. Pretty girls say pretty girl audacious shit. Like I'm pretty, so if you cheat on me, she better look better than me. Word? I made it my mission, bro. Every girl I fuck with was hot, and she was cute.
Back when I was like that, honestly, I felt it was disrespectful to me if I cheated on somebody and they were uglier than the person I was with.
I didn't see it that way. I mean, like, I don't do fat. I might do ugly with a nice body before I do fat. But
dude, if I can't look you in the face,
looking her in the face is way too overrated anyway. B. I don't.
nah, dude.
I'm not.
I'm attracted to faces too.
No, but
You know?
that's how you end up falling in love on accident, man. You got slow music going, looking in her eyes and shit. Nah, bro, never look them in their eyes. It's like Medusa, bro. Never look a girl in her eyes, man. I'm looking at her chin line, her neck the whole time, bro. Like I never.
Dude, you can have an ugly face and pretty eyes and still be ugly.
I won't disregard that.
You know what I'm saying?
All I'm saying is look when if you're dealing with a 7 or an 8, you can't go under 7. And I learned that from watching how other girls interact. They be like, I've seen girls dump their boyfriend because they found out the ex-girlfriend was ugly.
Right.
They're like, I gave him some coochie. He should never got that. This what he used to. So I'm like, yo, I'm always. But here's the thing: the cuter they are, the less likely they are relationship material.
The cuter they are, the less likely it is that you can trust them.
Same thing, because too many options. Now social media gives every girl too many options. But it used to be back in the day, pretty girls just had options out the wazoo. So
I think. You think back in the day they had options out the wazoo?
I mean, pretty girls have always.
I think pretty girls have always had options, but I still think even them their options were limited to where they were. It was limited to what they had within their proximity.
That, and it was limited to whether or not somebody would pay $36 to wash her up.
Right. Whereas now, I think that they're way far more promiscuous because because of social media. I mean, you got all these bitches on X and on Instagram and Facebook and everything else under the sun, thirst trapping everybody with 150 million dudes in their inbox.
I don't think they're more or less promiscuous though. I think they used to be promiscuous, but they weren't public with it. Like now they're open with it. Like, yeah, I sucked 200 dicks. I'm like, whoa. What happened to, you sucking 200 dicks, but you're telling everybody they only had 3 boyfriends? Like, now they
get the 11 dicks in them.
Bro, like, I had a girl tell me that, like, I've only been with like 2 guys, and she got
that's bullshit.
I know it's bullshit when I met her, because the first day I met her, she was like, she hit me up she DM'd me on social media. Was like, man, I saw your comment. You seem cool. I'm like, yeah, thank you. And she was like, man, I'm in the city. Man, you want some food? And I'm like, yo, I travel for free food. Like, that's how motherfuckers kidnap me, bro. People, I ain't really big on money or pussy for food. I'm there, bro. And I went to her crib and she got naked and she was like, I don't normally do this, and I only been with like a couple of guys. And
I've heard that from so many fucking women when I was single.
Bro, that motherfucking coochie was like roast beef, my dude.
I don't normally do this with people. What the fuck ever?
I'm like, yo,
if you're doing it with me, you did it with at least fucking 15 other guys.
Bro, that shit was so blown out. It looked like the alien mouth, bro. Like it was lips inside the lip. I'm like, all right, shorty, you win, shorty. You ain't been with nobody. I don't give a fuck. I ain't gonna be at long.
Look like a fucked up Arby's sandwich.
Yeah, like an Arby's sandwich. I'm like, I'm straight.
Pita pocket all blown out and shit.
I ain't even,
couldn't even hold the meat no more.
This is how I know how promiscuous women are, because women really just want a title. Like the ultimate title is to be Mrs. Somebody, right? To be like,
I don't know if if that's even the ultimate title for a woman anymore.
It's not anymore, but they want a title. Doctor, they want a title. They want to put something in front of their name, even if they don't associate.
Even if it's just a degree on the wall.
Right. They need that title. And the easiest title for a girl to get is girlfriend. To be like, I got a man. And I don't even give them that. I'm like, sure, I'm just here. And then once you don't give them that, that's when women are honest. Like the honesty that women give me, because I won't give them a title. They be like, I had sex with you 4 times. I can't be your girl. I'm like, nah, shorty, we cool though. And then all of a sudden it's like, yo, let me tell you all the fucked up things I ever did, and all the dudes is trying to pursue me, and I'm like, all right, we can have that conversation, because food, as long as it's food, we can have a conversation. But I don't trust. First of all, you're not supposed to trust women, not their words. You're not supposed to trust women. That's why it don't matter what they say with clothes on, right? Because women lie to themselves, then believe a lie. So anything they say, generally speaking, is a lie because they believe the lie. So you just watch what they do. You know what I'm saying? But they be telling me all that shit.
Or you just don't care.
I mean, you don't care anyway. You care about who you care about. Like, but how many girls do men really care about? I mean, I had one friend. Rest in peace, Lamb Chop. That was his nickname, Lamb Chop. Rest in peace, Lamb Chop. But he loved every girl he ever spoke to. And when I say spoke to, I mean spoke to. I don't mean met. Like he used to do the chat line shit. He'll talk to a girl for an hour on a 900 number, be like, okay, I love you, and be serious. We'd be sitting next to him like, dude, what the fuck, bro? Man, she's queen, bro. You gotta love queens, bro.
That's fucking crazy.
Fuck, bro. The fuck. I remember he got married. This is okay. This is black love. Black love.
So motherfuckers have been fucking online simping since before online simping was online simping.
Bro, 900 number chat line shit, B.
Good Lord.
I'm like, you don't even know how she look. It's a chat line, B. Oh, well, her voice sounded pretty. Bro, no. That means she fat. All fat girls have beautiful voices, B. Like, no. Like, yeah, bro. Like, yeah. Yeah, this is not no new shit. OnlyFans is just, it ain't new, bro. Remember that Call Me Now shit in the 90s, bro? 1-900 Lava Love and shit like that. Yeah, bro. Motherfuckers was wide open on that shit. And these are the men who are, now these men are in their 40s and 50s trying to get relationship advice on social media. Like, bro, no. No. You gotta respect women and you gotta get your money right and you shouldn't date until you a 6-figure nigga. No, I've been fucking since high school. No, I didn't. I had a $800 fucking powder blue Regal, nigga. $800 car. My dad told me the realest shit. He don't always get good advice, but sometimes he get it right. He be like, look, it don't matter what kind of car you got. Girls just don't want to walk. They don't want to catch the bus. They don't want to walk. You got a car, you can get it. And I thought he was bullshitting.
He's not.
No, this is why I knew he wasn't. We still in high school. He told me that I was young. I'm still in high school, bro. I'm waiting on the bus. We waiting on the city bus to go to high school. In the wintertime, Chicago blizzard. A dude pulled up. I swear to God, I'll never forget this shit. The dude pulled up in a box Chevy. He stopped at the light. We at the bus stop. He stopped at the red light. In a blizzard. Think about this. The blizzard part is very important to the story. Dude pulled up in a box Chevy with no doors, bro. All 4 doors was off the car. No doors. Like we looking at this motherfucker.
And a whole gang of bitches jumped in that bitch, didn't
bro,
they?
nah, he was driving solo, but it was girls on the bus like, yo, could I get a ride? He don't have no doors, man. Whatever the blizzard is we feeling on this bus stop, he feeling in the car. There's no doors. and he just rides like fucking man. And girls are like, yo, could you give me a ride to school? And I'm like, Pops was right about this shit. He had no doors. That's to this day, I'm like, what happened to his doors? Like, it's one thing not to have windows. That's already fucked up. No windows in the blizzard. No doors. In a 4-door. 4-door with no doors. That shit was crazy to me. But the engine ran. He was just driving. I'm like, how didn't that get pulled over? Like, police not fucking with you. Don't have no doors. Is that illegal? Is there a law against not having doors? It might not be a law against not having doors. Like, you need tail lights and headlights. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think there's any laws about doors. Otherwise, your classic Jeep Wranglers wouldn't be allowed to be on the road.
I'll give you that. But there wasn't no fucking rain. It was a Chevy Caprice with no doors.
That's crazy.
It was wild. In a blizzard. Like, bro.
That had to have been the coldest fucking ride ever.
Bro, he got his coat on. He driving in mittens. But he driving.
Motherfucker driving down the road in mittens. with the heater on full and another fucking heater plugged into the lighter sitting on his lap.
Like, bro, why this shit ever saw? Why the shit so like, wow, that's the equivalence of voyeurism. If you ever seen a person running down the street naked, that was the car equivalent of voyeurism. Like,
Yeah, but bet your ass if somebody would have pulled up that they knew with a car that had doors in it, they would have jumped in that car with doors.
The girls asked for a ride, and then I remember me and the guys, because like 6 people at the bus stop, and like 2 girls and 4 guys, and one of the girls like, I get a ride, and me and the guys looking at each other like, well, shit, he driving. He ain't got no doors. Like,
I would have made the bitches sit by the doors that weren't there and sat in between them. That way they could keep me warm.
they gotta wear a seatbelt, bro. You can't lean on shit. There ain't no doors. I wonder if he had a seatbelt on. I don't remember the seatbelt part. But yeah, no, he had no doors. He was riding in mittens. And one folks wanted to get in.
Yeah, I will say my game got exponentially better once I got my first car.
Because you get to the coochie. It's a lot of times you be on the phone like, come get the coochie. Like, you can't get to the coochie go to waste. Like,
yeah, and you got to rely on one of your homeboys to come pick you up. And 9 times out of 10, they're assholes and won't.
All that comes into play. But yeah, motherfuckers been simping, be like, bro. Matter of fact, that same dude met another girl on the chat line. It's true story, shout to Lamb Chop. And he never met her. And he asked me, because I'm the asshole friend, by the way. That's what made me remind me of the story. He asked me, could I take him to the girl house who he never met and drop him off so, he could meet the girl that he talked to on the 900 number, right? I don't know how we got on this topic of conversation, but we're going to get back to the topic, but this is a true story. So I'm like, cool. So me and my boy Fontaine, I gave him a shirt to wear because he was a bum. I gave him a shirt to wear. I'm like, I'm loaning you a shirt. Matter of fact, that's when people don't remember, but that's when Looney Tunes sweaters was out. Like everybody had Bugs Bunny or Donald Duck sweaters. This sweaters was like $80, bro. Looking back, that shit was a fucking Walmart sweatshirt with a logo on it. But we get on it. We ain't know about it. I gave him a Daffy Duck sweat because I wanted him to look good. And then my boy Fontaine gave him a pair of jeans and a pair of shoes because his shoes was fucked up too. We loaned him my whole outfit.
Damn, he must have been really fucked up if his shoes was fucked up.
He was fucked up, but he was fucked up on purpose because he's the type of dude who had a job, but he'll give his whole check to the girl he liked and be like, I'll just figure it out.
Yeah, I used to make that same mistake too.
He was one of them guys, bro. And so he didn't have anything because he gave it all away to girls, and which is why he didn't have anything. But anyway, so we dress him up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know whether or not we cut his hair or not, but we dressed him up, and then we take him to see the girl. And the girl wouldn't answer the door. She lived in an apartment building. He pushing the buzzer, and she won't even reply. She won't buzz him up. So we like, well, maybe she's not home. Maybe you should call. Now here's where being 18 and pseudo poor is fucked up, right? So we're on 79th Street, which if you're from Chicago, 79th Street is like the most crime-ridden street in the city. Like, if you're not from Chicago, you thought we all 63rd because rappers, but really 79th is the fucked up street, right? And she lived on 79th, and we go over there, and between 3 of us, three 18-year-old young men, well, me and Fontaine was 18. He was like, Lamb Chop was like 21, 22, but we didn't know he was like older than us because his mentality was like our age, right? So two 18-year-olds and a 22-year-old. Between the 3 of us, we didn't have 35 cents to use a payphone. Because once again, this is back in the day when niggas had pages. We didn't have 35 cents together to use a payphone for him to be able to call a girl from a payphone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which is fucked up, right? However, because I was outside, I had a pocket full of stones. So we in front of the
had some of that work on you, huh?
They had some of that work on me, bro. And goddamn it, but I ain't had no money. Had that work though. And then we had the phone booth and realized we don't have 35 cents between 3 fucking adult males. And some dude just came out the blue like, hey, anybody got work? I'm like, yeah, I got some work. Boom, made $10 real quick, right? Now, we on one corner. We're on one street corner. Now, on the same street, but on the other corner is a restaurant, right? So the plan was, let's walk down the block, go to the restaurant. I'll buy everybody pizza puffs, and then we'll take the change. We'll have 35 cents, and you can call the girl, you know, figure it out. Bro, when I swear to God, bro, by the time we left from, let's say, the east corner to get to the store on the same block that's on the west corner, I sold out, bro. Now I got a few $100s, bro, just walking from the payphone trying to make it to the restaurant, bro. Like 79th Street was just bumping. I'm like, damn, I don't even live on 79th, and I'm kind of paranoid because I don't live on 79th. I don't know who.
So you wondering if you're fucking somebody's business up?
Yeah, but I'm a few hundred up though, like walking one block, like no bullshit. But we still don't have no change because motherfuckers paying in bills. I still don't have no change. We still gotta go to the restaurant. So we get to the restaurant, and while we waiting to order the food, two girls come in the restaurant after us. So it's like, damn, you cute. They looking at me like, you cute, and they looked at my boy Fontaine like, oh, he cute, he even cuter. Nobody looked at Lamb Chop. I don't know what's wrong with Lamb Chop, but anyway, so then they was like, we ain't seen you around here. And like, man, shorty, we not from around here. You know what I'm saying? Shit like, oh shit, they from somewhere else. I'm like, well, mom, why you looking at us? Can I get a quarter? Right? Because we just were trying to make the phone call. Like, can I get a quarter? So the first girl's like, I'll give you a quarter. Then the second girl's like, I'll give you 50 cents. Then the first girl's like, I'll give you $1. I'm like, well, shit, give me the $1. So they gave me the $1, but we still ain't got no change, though. Never got the change. So I still got to order the food, though. So they're like, man, y'all not from real, woo, woo. It's like, man, y'all driving? I'm like, yeah, we driving. So they like, well, look, we have to order our food. Let's hang out. I'm like, all right, shorty, but we own something. This not our mission. This our guy mission. Let us go to the phone. So we order something to eat. They order after us. So we order something to eat. We get our food. We go out. We go to the payphone. She's still not answering the phone. I say, well, look, man, child, we're gonna drop you off in front of our crib. Double back to the restaurant. Me and my boy Fontaine go back to the restaurant. They just coming out the restaurant with their food. We're like, what up, ladies? They're like, oh, that's your car. Once again, I don't know what I had at the time. Either I had the powder blue Rig or I had the dark blue Park Grand Prix. But they looked like the same car. One a Pontiac and one a Buick. It's the same fucking car, really. I had 3 of them motherfuckers in different names. But anyway, it's a 2-door car with bucket seats in the front.
Yeah, my first car was an '86 Grand Prix.
Yeah, so it's bucket seats in the front, 2-door car. So Fontaine's taller than me. We end up driving in the alley behind the restaurant in some block we don't even know, the same fucking block we don't pay for. He nailed the bitch in the back seat while I'm getting head in the front seat. We done left our boy Lamb Chop in front of the girl crib trying to ring the bell. I still don't know the girl's name. It's just the girl that gave me $1 when I asked for a quarter. That's how I remember the story. And then we go back to get him, and he's still 30 minutes later, he's still ringing the bell, talking about she ain't came down. By the time we come get her, this is how crazy it is. Small world shit. She got a brother. The brother went to school with Lamb Chop. They went to high school together. He run a dude come in the building around the same time we went to pick him up. Dude tell him like, oh, I'm gonna get my sister. He's like, that's your sister? He's like, yeah, that's my sister. He go upstairs. He still don't let us in though. Or let Lamb Chop in. He's like, let me find out. Go upstairs, come back down. It was like, oh man, she said she ain't trying to see nobody right now. I was like, bro, you had us come over here for nothing. We took our clothes back from that nigga. I probably would let him have an outfit. She would let him up. He probably could have kept the shirt. But shout out to him. I made $1 and got some coochie. Shout out to I made more than $1. But
that was back in the day when bitches would pay for dick.
Yeah, I got paid $1 to have sex. I made a couple $100 but I got paid $1 to have sex. I was a cheap date. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lamb Chop.
Man, you're sitting here telling your story, and we have this new sporting goods shop that opened up that's having some good Black Friday deals. So I'm looking at their sales on guns, man. They got some good sales going on.
Yeah, I got a question. I'm gonna shut this down. I think some tequila, but I got a question. So when you were a fucking thug ass fucking criminal in Ohio.
Actually, I was a thug ass criminal in Indiana when I was a kid too.
But you ain't get caught in Indiana though.
No, actually, most of the trouble I caused was in Indiana and Michigan. I just never got caught. I always went back to Ohio when shit got too thick.
All right, here's my question. My question is, when you traveled across state lines, your criminal history didn't go to Indiana, did it? Or vice versa. Whichever state you did the bullshit and end up, you know what I'm saying, going to county for a couple of days. That shit didn't transfer to the other state, did it?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, because you're talking about gun deals, so you know a lot. I went to get my gun.
Well, I've never had a felony or anything, man. So.
Oh, okay.
So I can actually buy a gun legally.
Bro,
believe it or not, too, and that's with me being on Fed watch lists and shit.
Yeah, bro.
That's what's wild about it, man. Like, I was tied to that fucking Gretchen Whitmer shit, and I thought for sure that they were going to take my gun rights away from me or make it really hard for me to go buy a gun.
Bro, you know what? I mean, I understand. Like, as a guy who had the U.S. Marshals, wake me up because
dude, that ain't. Dude, I had the fucking U.S. Marshals stop at my house when I was like 19 or 20 because they thought that I robbed a bank in the town I lived in.
People don't understand the Marshal shit, but yeah, I understand it. I never thought that.
That shit scared me more than the fucking Fed showing up at my house.
Bro.
I had two dudes. I remember I walked out of this wild. I went to the fucking. I was living in a fucking like one of those studio style apartments in an apartment complex type thing. And they didn't have a laundry room there, so we had to go down the road to the laundromat. And the laundromat sat right beside the bank. So I come out of the laundromat, and all I had was a pillowcase to put my clothes in, right? So I had my clothes in a pillowcase over my shoulder, walking, back to the fucking apartment, and I'm walking out of the laundromat around the corner, cutting through this parking lot, and the next thing I know, this unmarked car pulls up right beside me with two guys wearing sunglasses, windows rolled down, and all dude did was flash that fucking little circle star badge and started asking me questions. That was the dude. I had never been so scared in my life.
So somebody robbed the bank while you were doing laundry?
Yeah. Dude, the next thing I know, not just them, but the fucking every cop in that little ass town, which was only 3 of them, every cop in that town. There was 2 cops from the town next over. There was 3 sheriffs showed up, a fucking 2 or 3 fucking state highway patrol. The next thing I knew, there were like fucking 15 cruisers sitting outside my apartment, dude. I was literally surrounded.
Yeah, I've been through it.
Shitting my fucking pants.
I went through some bullshit. It was bullshit like that. Fucking around in Indiana. Fucking around in
Yeah, dude. And the thing is what's wild is I didn't do it, nor did I look anything like the motherfucker that did do it. And what I was more concerned about was, look, I just got done buying a 1/4 pound of weed, man, and it was sitting right in my living room, all broken up on my coffee table, so I could start putting it in packs. And the cop, I still to this day, the fucking chief of police of the town I was living in, he's like, look, this is the one time I'm going to tell you this. Just let them go in and look around and make sure that that the clothes or whatever that the guy was wearing isn't in your apartment or anything like that. And whatever you got going on in there right now, we'll overlook it. And I was kind of I was in one of them situations where I kind of had no choice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I let them go in, but as soon as they all left, I got rid of every bit of that fucking weed. Every bit of it.
Yeah, bro. It's the marshals don't even care about that though. Like when the marshals.
No, but I was more worried about the fucking the city cops.
Right, because they're gonna report it.
They're gonna come back. They may not be worried about it now, but you're gonna be worried about it in about an hour.
You know what's crazy? They sent the detectives to I stayed in Hammond, but they sent the detectives to my parents' crib in Chicago, right?
Hammond's a shithole.
I know, right? But I stayed in Hammond, but they sent the detectives. They couldn't find me in Hammond. They sent detectives, to my address. My last known address was my parents' crib, and I just happened to be hanging out. And I look, I said, "Damn, it's police swarming my parents' crib. I'm gonna keep on going." I hung out with my boy, what I'm saying, Miller Lite. So we hang out. I'm like, "Yo, this fucked up, bro. I think they coming to fuck with me." I'm like, "I don't know what I did, but you know, whatever, right?" Here's what's so crazy: the detectives that they sent to the house to get me, a couple of them were black, right? In Chicago, there used to be a bar called Reese's. Reese's is where all the Chicago police officers and CTA drivers, like all the city workers, postal workers, that's where they drink at, right? I end up going to Reese's, running to the dude who was the GD coordinator when we were shorties. His best friend is a Chicago detective, and he also is cool with Reggie was there at that time. Reggie Rose, Derek Rose's brother. But Derek wasn't in the league yet. Like Derek way younger than his brother. So like Reggie was there, because Reggie was I ain't gonna say no Reggie, but Reggie knew he had an alcohol problem back then. So Reggie was there getting drunk, and all of them was GD, right? So all I hear is, "Well, folks," like I'm spooked. The detective that just tried to, stalk my parents' house is in Reese's at the bar. Dude is standing behind him, yelling my name, like, "What up, folks?" And I'm like, "Yo, shut the fuck up." And he like, "Yo," talking to his best friend, who the detective, like, "Yo, remember folks, man, folks, you swoop ball. Yo, Reggie, remember folks?" And he kept saying my name because he kept introducing me to the very people I really don't need to talk to right now. You know? And I'm like, "Yo, how can I get out this gym?" Because I didn't even drive. I'm riding with people. Like, "Yo, do I just catch the bus?" I forgot. And
getting fucking snitched on without intentionally getting snitched on is
right.
fucked up.
And then the detective that was in front of the crib, come to find out he's also GD. This is why, when I'm on these panels, they're like, "You can't be a gang member and be an upstanding person in the community." I'm like, everybody in this motherfucker GD, but everybody got a job. Like I said, all them city workers. Shit. Like, I'm like, "Yo, this is fucked up." And then, dude, I swear to God, the detective, I swear to God, bro, even though I was still paranoid, he never turned around. He sipped his drink and was like, "I'm off duty." That's all. I was like, "Okay."
Gotta respect that.
I respect that.
Gotta respect the fuck out of that.
He like, "I'm off duty." Because I guess he like, "Damn, he cool with all my friends. Like, he can't be that bad of a guy. Like, he cool with all my coworkers." Dude was like, "I'm off duty." And I was like,
Today's your lucky day, man. Today's your lucky day. I'm
But I
not on
can't-
the clock.
but I can't go back home to Hammond, and I can't go to my parents' crib. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up getting a hotel room for a week. I felt like the dude on South Central. You probably ain't never seen that movie. Dude,
Yeah, I've seen it.
I feel like him. I'm staying in a hotel. My boy be like, "Yo, you in that hotel? I know your money running slow, man. Let's go to the club." I'm like, "Yo, I ain't trying to go to the club, B." Like last time I went to Reese's with your ass, ran to the cops, and nigga, I ain't trying to go out and shoot again. End up going to a nightclub with him though, because Reese's is a lounge. End up going to a nightclub with him. The nightclub is uneventful, kind of, sort of. Like girls is trying to talk to me. I'm really not in the mood. I got shit on my mind, bro. You know what I'm saying? And this is like the week before Thanksgiving, and whatever week that is. It's the week before Thanksgiving, and I'm in the club, and it's kind of chilly. Everybody got jackets. So when the club over, everybody waiting in coat check to get their coats, and the line is long. It's a long ass line for coat check, and I'm not in the line. I'm just sitting there chilling. And some of the bright skinned girl, it was like three girls, but the cutest one, she's like, "Oh, he cute, he coordinated." Woo, woo. I was coordinated though, and she was like, "Man," and I'm not really talking to her, and she was like, "Man, this line's so long, cause I wish somebody could come get my coat for me." I was like, "Shorty, give me your coat ticket." She gave me the coat ticket. My friends was in the coat line though. That's why I was sitting down, because we sent one person get everybody coat. So I get Twan. They three coat tickets. Like, "Yo, why you up there, bro? Just grab these coats. Good looking." So I go back sit down. She's like, "Oh man, he cool. He cute. He got our coats for us. He plugged. He just chilling like a boss." And And I'm like, man, I got shit on my mind, bro. Like, and then she was like, I'm sorry if I'm so aggressive or whatever she said. She didn't use the word aggressive. She's like, I'm sorry, I'm so whatever fuck she said. She's like, but I'm not really from Chicago. I'm like, where you from? She was like, man, I'm from Waterloo, Iowa. And I looked at her and I said, Shorty, do you believe in love at first sight? I've been waiting for you my whole life. You so gorgeous. Nigga, do you know, nigga, within 4 days, they got moved to Waterloo, Iowa. Like, I got to get the fuck about Chicago. And that's how my Iowa shit happened. So when I tell motherfuckers, when you was talking about like a man can move anywhere and be comfortable and make friends, bro, I've been everywhere, bro.
So have I.
Just chilling.
There's just some places that I absolutely despised and will never go back to.
Atlanta. That's what. Atlanta.
Oh, dude, I lived outside of Pittsburgh for like a month. Never do that again either.
Yeah, I heard Pittsburgh shit. I'll never go to Cleveland again ever. And I just on general principle, like nothing even happened to me in Cleveland. It just felt like depression.
Yeah, Cleveland's a dirty city. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, I never go to Cleveland again.
I mean, I think about it. Even the Browns don't want to be there.
Yeah, I know they're the Ravens now. And you know what? Cleveland people are strange people too. They good.
They are.
They good people. They not like, but they strange. Like their value systems is kind of weird.
They're like Canadians.
Not even today's Canadians. What was that show? South Park Canadians.
Yeah.
They like yeah. Strange people, not bad people. Just, and that's what gets you because they not even bad people. Like
They're just not. Look, it's not that they're horrible. It's just not that you ever want to hang out with them again.
Right, like you're a likable person, but
It was cool running into you the first time, but let's not make it a second.
yeah, it's that type of people. Like Cleveland people don't. Yeah,
That's just Ohio people in general, mostly.
yeah, Cleveland people are like that. So is Cincinnati people, but Cincinnati is a little bit better. But
Like I said, that's just Ohio people in general.
and I don't know that many Cincinnati people, you know, but because they used to hang out in what is it, Paducah? Was it Paducah, Kentucky? No, Covington.
Oh, right there on the Ohio River.
Yeah. So they call themselves Cincinnatians, but they really not.
Right on the other side of the bridge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been around, bro. I've been around, and I've always had I've never had any problems anywhere. I've had more problems in Chicago, being from Chicago. I've had more problems in Chicago than any other place outside Atlanta, because Atlanta's fucked up.
Dude, that's me in pretty much everywhere in Ohio. Just the whole fucking state of Ohio sucks.
State of Illinois sucks because it's damn near a slave state. Atlanta sucks because of the people, not even a city. Just because Atlanta is a city of the rejects of every other city.
I don't know if I can come back to Illinois, man. I owe them a bunch of money for toll roads.
Oh man, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they threatened to fucking. I kept getting notices from them that they were going to try and suspend my license or whatever, and that never happened. It just went to collections.
Illinois is a place that that answers my question, because Illinois tried to tell me I couldn't get my gun license, and I'm like, bro, I don't have no felony. They're like, well, you got arrested when you were 18 and got arrested again when you was 20, 29. I'm like,
It all see a lot of the gun thing, getting your concealed carry permit. It all depends on the state. It's weird. Like in Indiana's one of the dude. You had to jump through all kinds of hoops to get it in Ohio, and in Ohio it was only valid for a year. You had to get it renewed every year.
That's how marriage should be.
In Indiana,
everybody shouldn't be.
Dude, in Indiana, all I had to do was go up and have my fucking fingerprints taken and a background check.
I don't even.
I shit you not, dude. And then pay them $100, and they gave me my shit.
You know what's so crazy about Indiana? This boy I found this out in Gary. So hanging out with some boys in Gary because I was in Hammond, right? Gary, Indiana. Everybody know thuggery happens. but it's open carry. So they out there like cowboys already with 2 guns on their hip, right?
Well, see, that's just been recent. See, Indiana, people used to get open carry confused because Ohio is actually an open carry state. And open carry means that you don't have to have a license as long as you openly carry your weapon to where it can be seen, right?
Okay.
That's what open carry actually means. What? Indiana, when they say open carry, what they mean is you can openly carry as long as you have a permit to carry.
Right. Yeah.
Where in Ohio, it's part of Ohio's constitution.
But they have a constitutional gun. Yeah.
Yes, in Ohio you can it's in the Ohio Constitution that you can actually legally openly carry a weapon without a permit. You have to have a permit to conceal it.
Right. You can't conceal. Indiana's like that. But they have a license. But I'm like, how y'all get y'all license? Y'all motherfucking criminals. And this is something I found out about Indiana. If you go to prison in Indiana, your record is automatically expunged within 12 months.
Well, I know I've been in trouble for a couple things, a couple minor things since I've been in Indiana, and everything that I've gotten in trouble for, what you're saying is true. It's been taken off my record in like a year. Like it doesn't exist no more.
Like they were hiring correctional officers for the prison in Crown Point, Indiana, that had just gotten released from prison like a year and a half before, bro.
Hey, what would make a better corrections officer than a former criminal?
Hey, bro, this was amazing to me, bro. Bitches selling pussy and anything. But like, I found that out. I'm like, damn, Indiana kind of sweet. Cause and then I go to Illinois, and y'all talking about like, man, look, you caught a case in 1995, and I'm like, 1995, bro. Like, are you serious? 93 or some shit. I'm like, you serious? Yeah, you got arrested for a drug possession.
See, that's how Ohio is, man. Ohio is like that, dude. You catch a case, man, and look, dude, I know motherfuckers that caught cases back in, like you said, back in the 90s, man, and still can't own a fucking weapon to this day.
And Illinois is bullshit, and they don't want you to have a gun in Illinois anyway. Like, they got the handgun law, and I'm like, how the fuck?
Like I said, Ohio, they have the open carry law, but once you get in fucking trouble and catch a felony, you're fucking all your rights are pretty well fucking gone for the rest of your life.
That sounds like Florida. Yeah, I might have to get a gun license in Indiana because they talk about it.
It's easy, dude. And see, Indiana now, the great cool thing about Indiana is if you're legally allowed to own a firearm, like you aren't a felon or anything like that, right? You can go out and purchase a firearm. Now Indiana's a constitutional carry state, which means you can open carry or you can fucking conceal carry without a permit in Indiana.
I'm about to get to LA, Indiana. That's what I'm doing. Get a license in Indiana. I'm gonna switch it over.
If you get your license in Indiana, Illinois honors it.
I know. Like, I had a South Dakota. I don't know what the fuck happened to. I had a South Dakota license. I had a California license. Like, everywhere I go, I get a license. I want to be of where I'm from. I never had a Georgia license though, because I knew Atlanta was bullshit. But, like, bro. Anyway, man.
And in Indiana, you can get a lifetime open or concealed carry permit too.
Because we got shit to do. I got to do my part. I told you, man, we're gonna go live on the road, man. We're gonna steal a small town, bro. We're gonna go live on the road.
One of these days.
Bro, I've been on bullshit. I've been like, I ain't did shows this shit. Like, I've been suffering from depression, man.
I haven't been either, man. Honestly, you know that I ain't been doing shit. I haven't even really been hopping on a whole lot of panels, to be honest with you. I haven't been getting on YouTube much.
Nah, I mean, I fuck with Hood, but I don't really.
I fuck with Hood. I'll fuck with you if you're live.
Yeah, I don't fuck with.
I don't get on. Nobody else is worth my fucking time, dude.
I don't want to argue. I don't want to argue about relationships all day with people.
I don't want to argue with bitches, and I don't want to argue with the bitches.
That's why I'm at with it. Motherfucking niggas this side of gay, like y'all borderline homosexuals talking about how to like.
All you motherfuckers are acting like these fucking bitches are your mamas. I'm tired of it, dude. And then for me, there's the whole fucking, like I said, can't get away from it with me. Every time I get on a panel, there's a whole racial aspect of it, and I'm just over that shit too.
That part, when I hop on, it's the thug element, and I say it all on my show. I'm like, yo, I'm not even the hardest dude on my block. Like if y'all can't take me, y'all sure can't take my neighbors. Like I'm the funny one. I'm the cool one. Like y'all got me fucked up. So I just I'm like, yo, I'm talk man shit, they talk black shit, and I'm like, yo, black shit and man shit don't really go up, they don't go together. And then people trying to tell me who I should and shouldn't associate with, like, man, don't hang out with the cracker,
Don't hang out with Snow, man. He's all fucked up, man. And you got bad reputation around here, man. Fuck all you motherfuckers. You can eat a dick.
don't fuck with black conservatives. And hood conservatives, you got black conservatives, and like, don't fuck with the black conservatives. They sell out. And I'm like, bro, our whole hood, as much as gangbangery they think Chicago doing, our whole hood was Republican. Like, what Biden was, what 6 years ago? Like after Obama fucked up, everybody flipped Republican. All the motherfuckers y'all think gang banging, gun tote, they was like, fuck this shit, bro. We're going Republican. Like we been ahead of the curve. Like I am not an anomaly. Like then you're talking to people who are one of two things, right?
What it is, Dirty, is there's people on here that just don't like hearing the fucking truth.
That they like women. I think it was right the first time. They want to say, in order to have a productive social media site, you could cater to guys, but it has to be like universal guy stuff like sports or something like that. Or you have to, like live streams like we do, you got to cater to girls. Girls have to be,
fuck that, dude.
And I'm like, I don't even like these with clothes on. Like, nigga, I don't even like women. I like my woman, whatever girl I'm fucking with at that particular time, I like her. But like, I don't like women in general, bro. Like, there's nothing they bring to a conversation. I'm like, oh, that was bars. Like, girls don't really add anything to a dialogue.
No, they're just nice to look at every now and again. That's it.
Well,
and even that's questionable.
This is what women do. Women do everything to prove men right. So whatever you say women are, they be like, no, we're not. And then 2 minutes later, they'll do exactly what you said women do. And then dudes be like, look at that, I told you. And then they try to make the woman be a better person. For what? I don't need a better woman, like a better person. I need a motherfucker to shut up and fry chicken. I don't. Better or worse is arbitrary. Like people do what you allow them to do. Like set up rules and you don't have to worry about that shit. Like there's a lot of people who would do crime if there was no penalty to crime.
Everybody would.
I would never pay for anything. I just go to the store and push a fucking 65-inch TV with a fucking, like, if there's no penalty. Like I don't like the conversation. Then I come through talking about penalty and they're like, oh my God, he's a domestic violence abuser. I'm like, how the fuck you get that from what I said? Like people take it out of context. I never let my daughter date dirty folks, but your daughter's dating me in my 20s. Like that's exactly who she with.
Right.
And congratulations, I would love my daughter to date me in my 20s because I know how to talk to dude. Like, look, this is what we're gonna do because you're not gonna mistreat my daughter, but I know where you're coming from. You're not a bad person. You got shit in your mind. At least I know you're ambitious towards something. Because the world, here's a problem with panels, with these liberal panels, whether they white or black. They talk from an aspect of love. I speak from an aspect of hate. But love and hate is the same emotion. Because both of them are motivating attributes, right? If you hate to be broke, it's not that you love money, you hate poverty. You're gonna work your ass off not to be poor anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If whatever you're passionate about, like if you hate losing, anybody can play basketball. If you hate losing, then you're gonna bust your ass to win. People gonna call it the Mamba mentality. You know what I mean? You hate is just as great of a motivator as love, but they only talk about love and how to bring the community back with love. And if you love women, you can love them through their trauma and you love your brothers. And I'm like, I ain't with none of that shit. That love shit don't work. How you love people that hate you? And now I'm a villain because I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I know you hate me. There's not that many people I love that I envy. It's not that many people, bro.
No.
If any. I know people who I don't envy them, but I'm like, damn, that's cold. Like I have a cousin that played pro ball. I'm like, damn, nigga, if I was 6'6", I could have made it to the league, nigga. I used to bust my ass when we was kids, nigga. And, you know, I didn't grow to be 6'7". You did, but I don't envy him. I'm happy for him. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, give me a jersey, bro. When you come in town, man, I ain't paying for no games. You know what I'm saying? I don't envy him. I can envy, but you can't. So essentially, being a liberal woman is penis envy. So that means she hates men, but she needs men, but she hates men. So now you bipolar. So you hate me and you bipolar. I can't have that conversation. Only conversation I can have is slavery. And then I'm not a good black man because I speak slavery.
That's wild.
But if you looked at the clip earlier, what was slavery for women? Cook, clean, do laundry. You know what I'm saying? Raise the kids. That was slavery for women.
Yeah.
The fuck? Ain't that what you want? Strange.
It is strange, but fuck, man, I'm gonna get off here. I gotta put these kids to bed.
Say the same thing, man. I'm about to get up out of here. Man, I appreciate everybody that slid through, man. All 10 of y'all. I appreciate 10 people. I have done so few shows, bro. I went from like hundreds in the chat to 6 people in the chat, and them 6 people, my people, bro. Like, we gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna be more consistent. I don't be having nothing to talk about. This is what I want the chat to do. Send me topics, bro. Go to either email Dirty Folks Media on Gmail.
Quit lying. You acted like you gonna respond.
I know I might not respond. I'll check it. I'll find out what topic and I'll do a show on it. Like, I don't be having topics, bro, because I'm like so removed from everything that people care about, bro. Like, I don't.
That's because everybody cares about dumb shit, man. Look, my last thing I'm gonna say before I hop off here is I thought that at a certain age, men stop fucking giving a shit about this dumb shit we keep hearing these grown ass men that are in their 30s and 40s talking about online. Seriously.
This is no. This is why I realized, because my dad's what I was taught by people who never did it, the Claude-Andersons of the world, is men are problem solvers. If you see the problem, create a solution, then create a plan revolving around that solution and try to get it done. Right? If you keep telling me the problem, but you get mad at everybody with the solution, then you like the problem. Like, I can't get past that part of the conversation, being solutions based. You know what I'm saying? And if your solution is running, because men are cowards, I'm gonna get a passport or whatever. I can't have that conversation. And I'm not against passports. I have a passport, but I don't have a passport so I can run away to try to find a woman that another group of men had to raise. I could check a bitch right here.
Right.
Like, their motivation is weird. But
I mean, yeah. I definitely want to take my chances with somebody that I have more of an understanding with, than especially culturally wise, than go somewhere where I have no understanding of the culture at all.
Right, I don't even know the language. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the food.
Right.
Right. When I go out of town, the first thing I do when I go out of town, any town USA, is I find the low income spots. Number one, because they have the best food at affordable prices. So that's why I look for the low income areas. Because I don't want to be in the tourist trap shit where you selling me $26 hamburgers. Like, I know this hamburger $3 somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But
yeah, man, I'm gonna bounce off here, man. I'll holler at you, man. I know you won't, but hit me up.
I'm gonna hit you up, man. As always, man, love your brothers as you love yourself. Feed the pack, try a book.